Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and we are live here on YouTube, here on True School Sports, for some good old-fashioned late-night boxing talk. We're going to talk about Alexander Usyk, not Usyk, Alexander Gvozdyk, rather. Alexander Gvozdyk versus Artur Beterbiev, trying to unify the division. It's the biggest fight of the weekend, in my humble opinion. Just big for the division. It's big. It's good to see good, solid unification fights in divisions that matter, and light heavyweight is definitely would qualify as a division that matters in boxing. But I'm gonna let you guys get in here. This is my first time using this whole StreamYard thing, so because I've been seeing everybody use this damn thing called StreamYard, so I figure I get on this whole StreamYard wave and just see what it's like. For those of you who are watching, please let me know in the comments, like if let me know in those comments if my mic is okay, because I'm using my computer camera at the moment. And I've never used my computer camera for a damn thing, so I'm not even sure how this is gonna work. Let me see. I'm not even sure if I sound okay. Let me see. But I'm gonna give you guys some time to come in while I see what I sound like, because I have no idea what I sound like at the moment. A lot of you guys have been asking for the late night lives back, so they're back. I think I see Pet in the comments. What's up, Pet? How you doing, champ? How you living? How you living, champ? I'm gonna share this on Facebook right quick. Live. Yeah, hopefully those of you who ever wanted to get on and talk, we could I don't know how this works. I'm still figuring this whole StreamYard thing out. But if you've ever wanted to, I guess, talk boxing, now's your chance. So let me know in the comments if you want to join. Well, that's good, man. Good to see you, Pat. Um, I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna mute my headphones now so I can hear you. So we got Pet in the comments. We got my pops in the comments. We got 3 people here. So you guys let me know what city, what state, what continent you guys are watching from. If any of you guys would like to, hold on. If any of you guys would be interested in joining the live to talk, I'll drop a link so you can come in if you want. But I wanted to just start talking about this big light heavyweight fight between Alexander Gvozdyk and Artur Beterbiev, because it is a fight of importance. It is a fight that matters in the division. It's very important for the light heavyweight division. This fight, just starting off both fighters, like their styles and whatnot, right? They both have very great styles. They're both, it's kind of hard for me to say in the light heavyweight division, like who is the weakest of the 4 champions, because I think they're all quality. Like Dmitry Bivol's a very quality fighter. Sergey Kovalev is a very quality fighter. Gvozdyk is a very quality fighter. Beterbiev is a very quality fighter. They're all fighters of a high quality. But in my humble opinion, from what I've seen, from what I know about each and every fighter, I really believe that by the slimmest of margins, that Artur Beterbiev is the weakest champion in the division, because of the fact that I think he's the most one-dimensional champion in the division. He's somebody that from what I've seen in his fights, he likes to smother you. He likes to land the big punches. He fights to knock you out. Obviously, he has boxing skills because he has a great amateur pedigree. He beat Kovalev in the amateur, so you don't beat a guy like Sergey Kovalev not having boxing skills. But as far as the professional ranks and then how he's been moved and the kind of ring experience he's got in professional ranks, I just really believe that he's the weakest champion in the division. And in this fight, I'm favoring Oleksandr Gvozdyk because Oleksandr Gvozdyk is someone that, you know, he's like in his own way. Like the way I would classify Gvozdyk is like he's like he's a skinnier, more agile version of Triple G. Like he's very agile. He knows how to move really well, and he gets a lot of his punching power not from just being this big, brolic, fighter. He doesn't have like big thighs like a Mike Tyson, or he doesn't have like massive form like you see with a lot of power punchers. But he gets a lot of his power from his technique, and a lot of times when Gvozdyk hits you, it doesn't even look like he's really even hitting you that hard. Oleksandr Gvozdyk. He looks like he's just placing the shots, but you see slowly but surely he begins to break you down and wear you out. And we saw like in the Adonis Stevenson fight. In the Adonis Stevenson fight, he just was able to, he put him in a coma. Like no disrespect to Adonis Stevenson, but he put him in a coma. And a lot of times, a lot of those punches, they look like they hurt, but it didn't look like he was putting that much behind the punches. And that a lot of that goes back down to technique. And this is a guy in Gvozdyk. If we were to go through his resume, I mean, look at the guys he stopped in his career. I mean, only 17 fights in, 14 stoppages. He stopped some guys some fighters who are pretty durable fighters who are known for their durability. People like Isaac Chilemba, people like Yunieski Gonzalez. Many of us may remember years ago, Yunieski Gonzalez was a fighter that went life and death with Jean Pascal. A lot of people thought Yunieski Gonzalez beat Jean Pascal, and this was a guy in Gvozdyk who just treated him like a piece of trash and stopped him. So guys like him, guys like Chilemba, Kovalev didn't even stop Chilemba. People were even saying Kovalev looked bad in that fight, and Gvozdyk got him out of there like it was nothing. So he's proven himself to be a quality finisher. He knows how to finish opponents when they're hurt. He has great technique, and I don't see why he wouldn't be able to beat Beterbiev if he can avoid the big shots. Because I feel like he has superior boxing skills. He has he's better footwork, and things like that. But that's not a disrespect to Beterbiev. I see this fight as a 60-40 fight in favor of Gvozdyk. But my main man Homer Simpson, what's up, champ? How you living? He says, "Yo, are you still in Pembroke Pines?" No, I'm not. I'm not in Pembroke Pines. I'm in South Florida, but I'm not in Pembroke Pines. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm currently in the great city of Deerfield Beach. So we're a little ways away from Pines, but yeah, not in Pines. Big shout out to my dad who's in the comments, and he's in the other room, so he's watching. My dad says, let me see. He said in the comments, he said, hold on. I'm still figuring out how to work this thing. How do you work this thing? Show. My dad says, what can boxing do to prevent serious injuries to the brain? Should boxers use special headgear while boxing? Well, I'm not really sure how you prevent brain injuries other than just having great defense and being a good defensive fighter. That would probably do a fighter a lot more good than anything people could come up with. But I mean, there really is no foolproof way to prevent head injury. It's a fight. These guys are trained, in-ring assassins. So they're gonna, if they hit you, it's gonna hurt. And should they wear headgear? Absolutely not. Because I think I remember reading a study not too long ago that fighters actually experience more head trauma with headgear on. And personally, just from my very limited experience in the ring, I hate headgear. Like personally, if I could box without headgear in the gym and they let me, I would rather just not box headgear because it makes your head a bigger target. And then sometimes if the headgear is too tight, then it can just like, it's really not it gives you a headache, and when you do get punched, it hurts really, really bad. So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of it. But before I move on to the next questions or comments, and I showed on the screen, I just put a video out about this, but I want to talk about it again. I want to give a massive shout out to Patrick Day, who just passed away. Rest in peace to him. and his family. This is a fight on Patrick Day, and I'm gonna parrot a little bit what I said in my video. So if you didn't see it, then I'll say it here. I literally just found out who Patrick Day was maybe a year and a half ago because I had seen an interview on him on Brooklyn Fights, which is a small YouTube channel, but I know the guy who runs it, guy in New York named Xavier Porter. Big shout out to Xavier Porter. And this is a guy that was willing to fight everybody, Patrick Day. And if you look at the last two fighters he fought, it was two of the biggest punchers in the weight class. As far as prospects go, a guy in Carlos Adames who, as a Dominican fighter, he's knocking out everybody left, right, and center. And a lot of people, that fight could have won either way. I really thought he gave Adames a great fight, and then he comes back and he fights Charles Conwell. So he's someone that was willing to fight everybody. He was a skilled boxer, better than his record indicated. And it's unfortunate what happens, but it's a good reminder that you cannot play boxing. This is not freaking croquet. This is not soccer. This is not a lot of those other sports that we're fans of. So just rest in peace to him, and may God bless his family. So that's what it is. Let's get to some more comments. We got my man HB. What does HB got to say? He says, "I know you're happy. Jorge Masvidal is a superstar. Harold called on to bring number 14 by the WBA." Yeah, I saw that, man. Jorge Masvidal, I'm not really I'm not really sure much about. I don't know much about him. I think is he the MMA fighter, Jorge Masvidal? Harold Calderon, though, I did see that he was ranked. It's good for him. I'm happy to see that Harold Calderon is ranked. Hopefully, he can begin to step it up because the one question that remains with him is, I like Harold and he's a friend of the channel. I've had some great conversations with Harold. He's a very humble guy. I'm rooting for him. He's a South Florida guy, so South Florida must support South Florida. But he's got to step up his opposition, and hopefully now with him being ranked in the WBA. I also saw that he's ranked in the WBC, like 33 or something like that in the WBC, 14 in the WBA. So it should be the start of Harold Calderon stepping it up at welterweight. And by the way, there's 6 of you here. Let me know if any of you guys want to join. If any of you are interested in talking boxing face to face, I'll send you an invite in the comment section. Let me know. So all you gotta do is just say, "Hey, I want to join," and I'll send you a link. Usyk, let's see, my man Joe. What's up, Joe? 56984. He says Usyk will have to fight Wilder on the inside and crack his ribs. And I see a lot of you guys talking about Usyk versus Wilder. Yeah, he will. He will. And I think it's possible too because a lot of times with Wilder, and I've had these conversations before with Stacey McKinley. Like I've heard Stacey McKinley will say, when you fight a guy like Wilder, you can't be afraid of the power because what winds up happening is when you're afraid of the power, you stay on the end of the punches. And when a guy like Wilder, the last thing you want to do is be on the end of one of them right hands where he's getting full extension because that'll put your lights out. That'll pretty much just that'll be all she wrote. So you can't have that with Wilder. You got to go to the power. You got to smother him. You got to learn how to, like Stacey McKinley would say, make him take their right hand and stick it up his ass. So if Usyk can do that, he can beat Wilder. Let's see. My man SSB28. What's up, champ? How you living? How you doing, man? I'm testing out this whole StreamYard thing, and I like it. I like the setup of the StreamYard thing. I might start doing these more often. I like this a lot more than being on my iPhone. But I'm doing good, man. Just enjoying my week. We got the big fight this weekend with Artur Beterbiev and Oleksandr Gvozdyk. That's huge for the light heavyweight division. We're roughly a week and a half away from what's his name? Josh Taylor versus Regis Prograis. That's going to be the fight of the month for me. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so I'm looking good. How are you doing, SSB? That's the real question. How you living? Triple JJJ, what's up, champ? How you doing? I hope all is well with you. Who do you guys here? Who do you guys think? Who are you favoring in this fight against this weekend with Beterbiev and Gvozdyk? I think it's a good fight. I have it like a 60-40 fight in favor of Gvozdyk. It's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight. And I really think it's great for the light heavyweight division because it'll help us start getting some clarity. And it is worth noting that the man who just seemingly can't get any big fights at light heavyweight has called both the winner of Canelo Kovalev and this fight out, and that's Dmitry Bivol. Bivol is willing to fight whoever. SSB chimes in saying this Beterbiev and Gvozdyk fight needs more promotion. Haven't seen much from ESPN. Deserves more. I agree. I hope. I mean, I'm not even sure if it's on ESPN Plus or ESPN, but it should have more promotion. But it's not going to get the promotion because neither one of these guys speaks that much English, if any. They're not big names to the American boxing public, and that's just what it is. Boxing is a business, so it's not going to get as much promotion as, let's say, like Teofimo Lopez versus Richard Comey, or even a Lomachenko fight, because they don't have as much invested in these guys as they do like a Lomachenko or a Fury. My man Pat, he knows what the deal is. He's got the put hashtag TTT, and that's the Tartan Tornado. That's Josh Taylor's nickname. And listen, my dad is in the other room, and he's chatting a bunch of bollocks about how Regis Prograis will beat Josh Taylor, but that's not gonna happen. Regis Prograis has this bad habit when a fighter throws punches, he moves back in straight lines. And a lot of times there are fighters in boxing who can that when their opponents throw a high volume of punches, they either shell up or move backwards, and I feel like that's going to be his undoing. If you go back to watch the Terry Flanagan fight, there are spots in the Terry Flanagan fight where when Terry decided to let his hands go and wasn't afraid of the power from Prograis, he was able to, have some minor success against him. And Josh Taylor is a much better fighter than Terry Flanagan. SSB28 says, I think if this goes distance, Gvozdyk wins. If not, then Beterbiev wins. Could be. Beterbiev's best chance will be in the middle rounds. I really think it'll be in the middle rounds of this fight because Gvozdyk is, from the fights I've had a chance to watch, when he does go the distance, he gets better as the fight goes along. And you want to get him out. You want to hurt him and make him feel you as soon as possible, because if he settles into the rhythm and he's able to start picking his shots, he gets very dangerous. Triple JJJ says, I've got Gvozdyk, TKO around 10, more tools in my opinion, doesn't waste punches, more skilled and better precision. Hey, real recognize real, game recognize me. I'm gonna go with you on that one. I got Gvozdyk stopping him somewhere in the neighborhood too. HB's talking about Prograis. I've got Regis Prograis stopping Taylor in the 11. Taylor the better boxer, but Regis is hungry and a dog. Well, Taylor is hungry and he's a dog too. Everybody's talking about Regis is a dog, but Taylor. Pet says, BT, your dad is a little biased. Yeah, my dad's over here saying Prograis fears no one, has a very strict training regimen and things like that. My dad loves Prograis, and before the tournament started, me and my dad have been going back and forth, and I've been telling him over and over again, Josh Taylor is going to beat Regis Prograis. Josh Taylor is going to beat anybody in this tournament because Josh Taylor is the best fighter at 140. Now, Jose Ramirez might have something to say about that, but I'm not so sure. Let's see. But it is. I'm favoring Taylor, but I genuinely feel like it's a 50-50 fight. So if any of you guys are interested in coming on to discuss some boxing live with me, the link is right there. All you got to do is click it, and I think it'll let you go on. So yeah, anybody who's here who wants to jump on, feel free. It'd be great too if one of you guys should jump on, just so I can figure out how to use this, because I never used this before. But I like it. It's pretty simple. Like you can display comments. You got friggin'. I like it. Will be a great fight for sure. I think Taylor wins. My man Rob Dick Long, what's up, champ? I saw your comment. You were asking me when I'm going live, and I'm gonna be going live a lot more because this is my first time going live with my computer, because normally when I go live with my iPhone, and if I don't go live with my iPhone, no, actually every time I go live I'm on my iPhone. This is my first time ever going live on the computer, and I never ever used my computer microphone, and I was always paranoid about it because it sounded like trash, but It seems to be okay. So we're here. You want to jump on, Rob? Anybody wants to jump on? I don't even care, man. I feel like talking boxing with somebody. I need to talk boxing with somebody. So anybody who wants to jump on, you got my time. I'm gonna be here for a while. I got time to kill. Unofficial sponsorship, but Doc Pepper. You know, I'm drinking deep. When you see me drinking one of these, you know I'm gonna be up for a while. So I'm gonna be up. Yeah, but it's been way too long. It's been way too long. Light heavyweight's an interesting division though. Like I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go screen share here for a second. So we're gonna go here, screen share. We're just gonna go screen share here for a second. Okay, this is how it works. Entire screen share. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to figure out how you do screen share on this thing. Don't show these clips again. Share screen. Aha, okay. Boom. Sharing this to StreamYard. Okay. I think that's it. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to use this, guys. So you're just gonna have to bear with me while I try to iron all this out. Make sure y'all smash that like button too. Like, smash that like button too while you're at it. See, my on screen share. Where's the Echo Falls, BT? Now, we're not drinking no Echo Falls, champ. We gotta keep it clean. Gotta keep it clean. BT with the Dr Pepper. You're damn right. My favorite soda, Dr Pepper. I might need to get me that Dr Pepper sponsorship at some point. SSB asked me, is Regis training in Miami? I heard he is preparing for the fight. I haven't heard anything about that, but a lot of fighters they do train in Miami. Like I saw today on Instagram, Isaac Chamberlain's supposed to be in Miami. He's flying here right now. I know exactly what Jimmy's training at, but it's freaking far as hell from where I'm staying. So hopefully we can start getting down to Miami because I'm actually this whole year has been kind of crazy for me because there's had a lot of stuff going on personally, and I'm actually in the process of moving to Miami, and that'll be done soon. So like when I'm fully moved to Miami, that you'll be seeing lives like never before. Hopefully, we can get to more of the boxing gyms in Miami because what's funny is like even though I live in South Florida and I know like I've gone to all the boxing gyms in Broward County, so you know Miami is down like so. Miami is here, right? Miami is in Dade County, and then I'm from Dania Beach, which is like up here, and that's in Broward County. So Dade County is the neighboring county of Broward County. So a lot of the boxing gyms in Miami, there's still so many boxing gyms in Miami that I've never been to. Like there's the Kangaroo Boxing Gym I've never been to. There's like at least 4 or 5 boxing gyms I've never been to. So hopefully we can start touching those gyms a lot more and getting to the Fifth Street Gym a lot more because a lot of fighters go to the Fifth Street Gym. Let's see. My dad says, "Do you think?" And everybody say what's up to Pops in the comments. But do you think Spence will fight again? Yeah, I think he'll fight again. The question isn't whether he's going to fight again. The real question is will he be the same? You know, will he truly be the same? And that's right now. That's not like really sounding too encouraging because I saw. Big shouts out to T Street Controversy. I saw a post on his Facebook today where he was talking about Earl Spence. He had gotten word from some people in the PBC and just around Spence that he had a bunch of back problems and things like that. So we'll see what happens. But it's not really a matter if he'll fight again because I think he will fight again. It's just a matter of will he be the same. El Jefe, what's up, champ? How you living? He says salute, true. Massive salute to you. All boxing talk and news. Great channel, great insight and passion. True School Sports. Big shout out to All Boxing Talk and News. Appreciate all the love. And yes, the passion is still here. Passion has never left. And we still love the fight game. And we love the fight game, all weight classes, everywhere. Triple JJJ had you have great taste, champ. Great taste. True. Are you from Texas? No, I'm not from Texas, but I used to. I live in South Florida. I've been living in South Florida my whole entire life. I was born in North Carolina, but I did live in Texas. I lived in Texas for a year. I lived in the Dallas area. I lived in Dallas, McKinney. I went to Frisco a bunch of times, so I know about Texas pretty well. Any news on when he also asked this El Jefe? Any news on who Virgil Ortiz is fighting next? No, I don't know who he's fighting next, but just looking at the rankings because I got him right here in front of me. Personally, I would like to see Virgil Ortiz. I think there's some good fights for him. You know, I like to see him fight someone like a Josecito Lopez, Ray Robinson, David Avanesian, guys like that. Maybe even Harold Calderon, but that's not going to happen because Harold's not going to fight him right now. But you got guys like Derek Cuevas who are in that top 15. No news yet, but there's definitely some names that of guys he could fight. Those are just some names that I think he should fight. But yeah, what I want you guys to do while you're here, it says there's 13 of you here. Everyone smash that like button. If you like what I got going on here on True School Sports, like smash that like button. And just like smash the like button so we can get more people in here, so more people get the word out on what's going on here on True School Sports and get some more boxing talk. My main man, 50 grand, KOD testimonies, trucking, rap, freestyle, and I actually finally said his whole name. Usually I just call him KOD and leave it at that, but I actually said his whole name. He says, "Salute to all my boxing family. Big shouts out to KOD." Look at that face, man. He's got a face only a mother could love. Just joking, KOD. I love you, champ. Nah, this is the real KOD. This is the champ. My man KOD. Okay, all boxing talk and news. The 15-year-old guy versus UFC vet. How young is that guy? How is that young guy getting on now? You know that's a great question, and me and him. And by the way, for those of you who don't know what all boxing talk and news is talking about, my highest viewed video, and I have a lot of videos. I mean, I have a couple thousand videos out on YouTube. My highest viewed video is this video titled 15-year-old amateur boxer goes to war with pro UFC fighter. Right? So the kid's name is Raheem Neely. That's who you're referring to. His name is Raheem Neely. And that video has like 4.3 million views. And it's getting a couple thousand views every single day. And it's been that way for like 2 years now. It hasn't stopped. To answer your question, that kid, Raheem Neely, he's not even boxing anymore. Raheem, he actually decided to go into the Navy, or not the Navy, but he's going into the Army, and he's not boxing at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen with him, but it doesn't look like he's going to pursue boxing that much at the moment because he's going to the Army, and he has a whole laundry list of personal things he's dealing with. So, you know, I wish Raheem the best. Raheem still calls me, like he has my phone number, so he calls me every now and then, and you know, we talk about boxing. Sometimes he asks for advice on life, but he's a younger kid and he kind of like looks up to me in a certain way. So I like Raheem. I got nothing but love for Raheem, and I wish him the best as he goes to the Army. But talented fighter, I always try to encourage him that he should keep boxing because I mean I've been in gyms all over South Florida and he's hands down one of the most talented amateur fighters I've seen here. So hopefully he does well for himself in the Army. Maybe he could even box in the Army and parlay a career out of that. But he's not really boxing right now as it stands. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. I heard some rumors that Spence has been getting caught up in the wrong things lately and that PBC has been covering some stuff up so Spence's image doesn't get bad. I hear those rumblings too. Like I hear like things like Spence is a drunk and a couple months ago, actually, I'm going to say back in May, because sometimes the great thing about having a YouTube channel and the great thing about having a YouTube channel like mine that's been around for years and that people know about is that sometimes I don't even have to check boxing news, I can just go in my comment section and I find things out there. And I remember like back in April, Marchish, people were going in my comment section and saying that, you know, BT, Errol Spence doing lines of coke, he's doing drugs, all this stuff. And then there was obviously always those rumors of him drinking. So, you know, it's not a secret, Errol Spence. And if it turns out they are covering up some stuff, then it's not a surprise. We've heard Earl Spence. We've now seen Earl Spence get into a car crash and he got charged with DWI. So we know he was drinking. And there was that video that I posted where he was just twisted out of his mind. You know, so it's not surprising. If Earl comes back and beats Danny Garcia January 26th, or wait till next year. Nah, I don't know, man. With Earl Spence, there's a lot of question marks around his career. So for him to do what you're saying, HB, I'm not really sure that's gonna happen. But just I wish him all the best. Hopefully he does. Let's see. We got my man, that boy, 26. I give Gvozdyk the edge. Teddy Atlas is one of the best trainers of all time. The Adonis Stevenson win wasn't a fluke or lucky. And you know what? That boy, 26, you are damn right. Gvozdyk is an excellent fighter. I mean, the guy, I mean, even before Adonis Stevenson, if we just look at what he did against other heavyweight notable names like Yunieski Gonzalez, the big Cuban that gave John Pascal a great run for his money, and a lot of people thought he beat John Pascal. You know, he beat the hell out of him. You know, the same Isaac Chilema that won 12 rounds of Kovalev, and Kovalev didn't look so good. You know, he beat the hell out of him and became the first man to stop him. So he's shown a lot of quality so far in his career. You know, he showed a lot of quality in the amateurs. Ukrainian national champion, Olympic bronze medalist, just all kinds of great things that he did in the amateurs. So, you know, Gvozdyk to me is the better fighter. Not the better puncher, but definitely the better fighter. But he is someone that I do think his punching power is a bit underrated, you know, because he gets more credit for his boxing skills, but people don't really pay attention to his power, which is kind of crazy to think because this guy put Adonis Stevenson in a coma, for Christ's sakes. So, what it is. BT, check the channel. It isn't KOD. I'm sub to KOD. Yeah, why is everybody hating on KOD? It's the same KOD that I always see in the comments all the time. BT, who do you got, Canelo or Kovalev? And this question comes from my main man, 50 grand, Rob Big Long, which is probably the best name in the comment section. But you know, this is a great fight. I like this fight for a lot of reasons because Canelo, whether you love him or you hate him, Canelo is daring to be great. You know, he is. You know, I'm not the biggest Canelo fan, but I can admit that he is trying to be great. I mean, I really think he should really try to be great and fight Demetrius Boo Boo Andre, but that's just another story for another day. But for him to go up to light heavyweight and challenge a man in Sergey Kovalev, who in my humble opinion, will go to the Hall of Fame one day, and he's never ever been a light heavyweight. You know, it says a lot about Canelo. And so far, I haven't heard anything about catchweight. So if this is at the full light heavyweight limit, then even more respect to Canelo. But we have to look at this objectively. Canelo Alvarez has never in his life stopped anybody legit above 154. When he fought at 160, you know, he didn't stop Golovkin and he didn't stop Jacobs. And then the one fight he had outside of 160, which was at 168 when he fought Rocky Fielding. You know, Rocky Fielding was never really a world level fighter like that. So you gotta look at that. And then you got to look at the fact that Sergey Kovalev, his last two fights, pretty much ever since he hooked up with Buddy McGirt, and this gets glossed over. So if I sound like I'm regurgitating myself, it's because I have to regurgitate myself because I don't think people are talking about this enough. When Sergey Kovalev when he lost to what's his name? When he lost to Elliot Alvarez in the rematch, I thought he was done. You thought he was done. I thought he was done. Your mom thought he was done. Your wife thought he was done. Your sister's aunt's boyfriend's brother thought he was done. The whole world thought he was done. But Buddy McGirt was able to get the best out of Kovalev. He was able to get through to Kovalev and really he got Kovalev to turn in my humble opinion, what was the best performance of his career to date. When you know a loss that night could have been it for him in boxing. And he turned in the best performance of his career against Elliot Alvarez. He showed the ability to use the jab. Buddy McGirt told Kovalev, that basically he said, look, you're a heavy-handed fighter. You don't need to be loading up on a million punches. Okay, you don't need to be loading up on a million punches to hurt somebody. And you saw that in the Alvarez fight, and he was able to get Alvarez's attention more than enough times in that fight, and he turned in a great performance, beat him, came back the next fight, destroyed Anthony Yarde. So I feel like Kovalev mentally and from a confidence standpoint, he's a different man than he was, let's say, after the second Alvarez fight, or even after the second Ward fight. He's a different man. He's a different fighter mentally. And I think because of the height, because of his weight class, because of the Buddy McGirt factor, because of the fact that he needs it's not a matter of him wanting the signature win. He needs a signature win against Canelo because his resume, for as good as it is, it lacks that signature win. And this is a chance to get it. And on top of that, is Canelo Alvarez's punch power going to carry up? I don't really think so. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going with Sergey Kovalev. To answer your question bluntly, Sergey Kovalev. How would you compare? This is from SSB28. SSB28 asked me, how would you compare Gvozdyk and Beterbiev's resumes? Well, let's do that right now. Actually, let's see. Let me pull up Beterbiev. I got Gvozdyk's right in front of me right now. But personally, I really think. I mean, hold on. I wanna learn how to do screen share on this. So I think this is the perfect time to figure out how to use screen share on this. Okay. So, boom. All right. So just using screen share here for a second, we're good. All right. So looking at Oleksandr Gvozdyk, right? This is Gvozdyk's resume: 17-0, 14 KOs. He's got a face only a mother could love. All right. Been killing it in the pros. So his career, for me, hold on a second. I gotta look this up real quickly. Otis Griffin. This is my boy Otis, my friend. He fought? Holy shit, I didn't realize Otis Griffin was a fighter. Shout out to Otis Griffin. Anyway, his first, one of the first notable names you'll see on his resume is he fought a guy that we know that Sergey Kovalev fought, in Najib Mohammadi, and he stopped Najib Mohammadi, and how many rounds was that? Couldn't have been many because Najib Mohammadi is no match for a guy like Gvozdyk. So 2 rounds, he's getting Najib Mohammadi out of there, and I remember Kovalev got him out of there in about 2, 3, 4 rounds. You had someone like Tommy Carpenti also stopped him. Became the first man to stop Chilemba, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because that was in 2016 in November. That had to have been the same year Kovalev fought him. Chilemba, where you at, Chilemba? So yeah, look, this is Isaac Chilemba. So yeah, he still to this very day, Gvozdyk is the only person to stop Isaac Chilemba. He fought right after Kovalev did. Kovalev went 12 rounds with him. Chilemba fought Elliot Alvarez, the same Elliot Alvarez that stopped Kovalev. This is Chilemba went life and death with Alvarez, and I remember that fight really well. That was on the DeGale Lucien Bute undercard, and Gvozdyk stopped him. So he's getting some pretty durable guys out of there. He's stopping them, he's waking them up, breaking them up. Uniesi Gonzalez, another underrated win that nobody talks about unless you're really up in your boxing. You're not really talking about this win a lot, but Uniesi Gonzalez, 18-3, not a big name in boxing, but I mean, he fought Jean Pascal. This fight right here, he fought Jean Pascal. A lot of people thought he won this fight. I remember very clearly. A lot of people thought that this fight was a gift decision for Jean Pascal. Then he fought Shabransky, who at the time was, had a bit of a name as a prospect, some hype. Close fight with him. People thought he could win that fight. And what did Gvozdyk do? Gvozdyk decapitated this man in what had to have been 5 rounds or less, if I'm not mistaken. 5 rounds or less. Third round, he's stopping Uniesi Gonzalez. So he's shown the ability that if you're not on his level, he gets you out of there. And then obviously there was a fight against Adonis Stevenson where he just absolutely thoroughly killed him, destroyed him, outclassed him, and got him the hell out the ring and put him in a coma. So he's shown that when you're not on his level, he lets you know. Beterbiev, his resume to me is not as impressive as a guy like Gvozdyk. I mean, Beterbiev, as an amateur, if we go look at his amateur exploits, this is a guy that beat Sergey Kovalev twice in the amateurs. As an amateur, Artur Beterbiev was great. He was fantastic. He beat Ismail Salah in the amateurs. He beat Kubrat Pulev's brother in the amateurs. He beat freaking a lot of fantastic fighters in the amateurs. Lost to Oleksandr Usyk, but then again, who isn't losing to Oleksandr Usyk? But he also defeated Michael Hunter, who's recently moved up to heavyweight. So amateur exploits are nothing short of exceptional, really. Exceptional amateur exploits. Tavares Cloud, towards the end of his career, off 2 losses, stopped him. Got guys like Enrico Colling, who was solid. Caleb Johnson. This one right here is pretty underrated because Caleb Johnson's a British heavyweight, British light heavyweight that none of those guys are really calling out. And I think the best one of his career definitely came in his last fight against Hot Rod Radovice. How do you say his last name? He fought Hot Rod, and this is the same Hot Rod that beat Marcus Brown and really was looked at to be someone that could be pushing on for world titles. I thought he won this fight, Hot Rod against Marcus Brown. Then he fought Chavis Peterkin, who was a decent heavyweight, took his O. And I remember very well making the videos. I remember clearly making the videos for that fight, for Hot Rod versus Beterbiev. And I remember saying this could be the toughest fight of Beterbiev's career. And that just wasn't the case. So the better resume, no doubt about it, in the pros so far is definitely Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Fortunately for him, he hasn't had the level of promotional issues and contractual issues that Artur Beterbiev has had. Beterbiev has been ducked by a lot of fighters. He had a lot of time on his career lost because of him being signed to Al Haymon and Al Haymon not really getting him fights. So, that's just what it is. All Boxing Talk and News says Adonis in his prime would have probably beat Gvozdyk. At least he would have taken it to the wire. I mean, he damn near took it to the wire, and he wasn't in his prime. So Adonis in his prime, I think probably might have stopped Gvozdyk personally, because hell of a fighter. But Adonis didn't want to step up. You're right, Rob, on that one. So that's what it is. Jerron Ennis, I don't mean to skip over some of you guys' comments, but I just want to switch gears here for a second. HB says Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz at 140, or Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. Which one would you watch if these fights came on at the same day? Oh, that's a no-brainer for me. I'm watching Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz all day, no doubt about it. No disrespect to Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez, but I mean, Virgil Ortiz versus Jerron Ennis. I mean, Jerron Ennis by himself is worth watching on his own. I was just with my dad, me and my dad the other day, because me and my dad watch a lot of fights. We like to go back. If we miss fights, we go back and we watch them. And even if we've seen the fights, we like to go back and watch them together. And I didn't get a chance to watch Jerron Ennis' last fight because it was the same day as Gennady Golovkin versus Derevyanchenko. And I kind of got pissed because you can't find. I mean, at least I haven't been fortunate enough to find Jerron Ennis, his last fight, anywhere on YouTube. Like, I haven't found it anywhere on YouTube. And I remember when he fought Armando Alvarez, who's from Florida, who I saw fight on a local card recently, and he just embarrassed Armando Alvarez. And he's very flashy. He's got great combinations, great hand speed, good defense. He looks the part. He looks like he could be the total package. Now, obviously, we haven't seen Jerron Ennis have that true step-up fight to where we know he's the goods, but he looks like he's the goods. And to see him fight a guy like Virgil Ortiz, that seek and destroy style of Virgil Ortiz, I just think the style match would be too good to pass up. So, yeah, easy pick there for me. See, my man Rob Big Long says, Kovalev didn't want to brawl in the rematch against Alvarez. He definitely felt the power in the first fight. I mean, Alvarez is a big dude, so you can't blame Kovalev. You can't blame the Crusher for not wanting to brawl Alvarez. But you want to brawl Alvarez? I don't think so. So, I'm not mad at Sergey for doing what's best for his health. Straight up. Trap God, what's up, champ? He said, use your own name, legendary boxer, aka boxing junkie. Shout out to him. Beterbiev has beaten Usyk twice and Gvozdyk twice in the amateurs, and he also beat Kovalev twice in the amateurs, if I'm not mistaken, because that's what I heard. He was an exceptional amateur. Look, there was a time where people thought Beterbiev was going to go on to become the #1 light heavyweight, and there is a good portion of hardcore boxing fans out there that I know still hold this belief, and this is his chance to prove it. I mean, he's no spring chicken, neither is Gvozdyk, but Beterbiev is truly no spring chicken. He's 34 years old. So if he can't get it done on Friday, he's never going to get it done. And it's as simple as that. SSP said, yeah, like Sean Porter beat Usyk and Danny Jacobs in the amateurs. Right now, both guys would put Porter in a body bag. Make it happen. Triple JJJ says, it's bedtime for me. Good night. Keep the go BT. Good night, everybody else. Be safe. Be safe. Coogan Cassius. Be safe. I don't know if any of you guys saw Ty and Booth's video today. It was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, be safe, Triple JJJ. Always. It's always great seeing you, champ. Yeah, I'm gonna at some point in time. I gotta do this at a more reasonable time because most of you guys have jobs, or most of you guys are at work, so none of you guys can really come on. But we're gonna organize it. We're gonna organize like a crazy like boxing talk event on here one day. This is an example of a banner. Click on banner to show it on screen. So like right now, I'm kind of experimenting with the StreamYard thing. What is this banner feature? Oh, okay. This is an example of banner. Click banner. Show. Yo, StreamYard is amazing. This is some amazing software we got here. I like this. Oh, I fucks with StreamYard. Let's go. You should go on the BDA podcast if you can, and this is all about you talking news. You know what? I like his podcast very, very much. I enjoy BDA's podcast. I think it's one of the best podcasts out there, the YTBC, because you get unfiltered, unadulterated boxing talk, and it's great for me to. A lot of times, because for my channel, I like to I like to cover all aspects of boxing. I like to cover like the news, the business of boxing, and the actual fights, the styles, and things like that. But a lot of times, because of the business and all the bullshit that goes on outside the ring, sometimes I wind up talking about more about that kind of stuff than the actual things that matter, which is the fights itself. And when you go to BDA's channel, it's always refreshing because what you're going to get most of the time is unfiltered, unadulterated boxing talk. He's going to talk that boxing talk. So I go there and sometimes I just listen to BDA's hangouts, and people chime in. And I learn new things about boxing, or I get things that are brought up, and it keeps me sharp. So yeah, I'd love to be on BDA's podcast one day, for sure. Should the winner of Canelo should the winner fight Canelo if Kovalev wins against Canelo? Absolutely. I feel like Canelo, if he wins a title, since he dared to be great, he should continue daring to be great because we already know when he goes back to 160, he wants, all right. You already know when he go back to 160, he wants no smoke with Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. We must establish that here on True School Sports because it's getting absolutely ridiculous that Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to fight Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I mean, the guy is there. He's got a belt. He's with the zone, and you make every excuse in the book to fight him. So to not fight him, I should say. The other day he was saying, "Oh, this guy is boring. He has no challenge. He's this. He's that. He hasn't fought nobody. He's maybe a good fighter." Like you're using every excuse book not to fight him. So if you're not gonna fight him, There's no reason for you to be there because I'm not trying to see you fight freaking Triple G again. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just not interested in seeing him fight Triple G again because Triple G's past it. So even if he beats Triple G and stops him, he's not gonna get credit for it. And even if Triple G beats him, as we've seen already, he's not gonna get a decision. So there's no point. It's pointless. So I'd rather see him go to 168, 175. Dare to be great. Try to stick your flag in the ground and solidify yourself as the best Mexican fighter of all time. I think that's truly the way to go if you're going to be Canelo Alvarez. So that's just my humble opinion. I like to see him fight Bivol. I don't think he'll fight Bivol because there's really no money in that for him, and Bivol probably have a bit of a better chance than Kovalev, but we'll see. My pops. My dad says, I was watching the Marquez Pac-Man fight. It was a great fight. Pac-Man looks like he never lost a step. Yeah, well, me and my dad were just watching that. Like, I was just sitting down, laying down. Because right now we're house sitting. Right now, I'm not even in my house. We're house sitting for a friend. And he decided that he was just going to watch Pacquiao versus Marquez 4. Because he had never seen Pacquiao Marquez 4, which is surprising. And he never really, I guess he had never even really seen the clips of Pacquiao Marquez 4. So everything was kind of a surprise to him, which is kind of funny to watch. But Pacquiao was sharp in that fight. Pacquiao was getting in and out, and Marquez, man, counter punching, the way he would place the shots, the PP man was short that fight. That's what I call Marquez. I call him the PP man because he drank his own urine that one time. The PP man, he really hurt Pacquiao, and he was dangerous, and it was an entertaining fight. It was really an entertaining fight. HB says, keeping it a buck. I'd rather watch Dave Benavidez and Tank over Crawford and Andrade, even though these guys are way superior in pound talent. I see what you're saying. And, to be fair, like, I love watching Tank Davis. Tank Davis is like the freaking lightweight Mike Tyson. Guy just parks people, ices them, kills them. He's a dog. He's a warrior. So I can see what you're saying. And Benavidez is entertaining as well, but I'm not going that far. Crawford and Andrade are the creme de la creme of boxing, and I love watching them fight. BT covers more than the heavyweight division. Yeah, yes, I do. I cover as much as I possibly can, which is very, very tiresome, by the way. It's fun, but it can get a bit tiresome. It's a lot of work knowing about. It takes a lot of work to know about boxing. My dad brings a great point here. When Andrade didn't have a promoter, he called out all fighters, and he's still doing it. Absolutely, he's still doing it, and they still don't want no smoke. They still don't want no smoke. So it is what it is. In my opinion, Wilder, AJ, and Fury Ruiz should be going all out to fight Usyk. It's a win-win. They need to solidify their legacy. I don't see why not. He's a smaller guy, so go for the gusto. Plus, Usyk's talking some cash shit right now. Like he's saying things like, "Oh, freaking Wilder is easy. I'll beat Joshua." I mean, he's really talking like he's that guy, and he's the WBO mandatory, so he's looking at potentially fighting the winner of Joshua Ruiz next. So we don't know we don't know the future holds with Oleksandr Usyk. We just do not know who wins, Easter or Adrian Granados. Oh, my dad's asking the real question, the things we really want to talk about. So this is a fight that's taking place next Saturday night, and God willing, hopefully we'll be live for that fight. I don't know where I'll be Saturday night, but hopefully I'm in an environment that will be conducive to me doing a live fight reaction. Now, this fight is interesting. I mean, I know it's a fight that a lot of people may not be interested in, and I understand why, because Robert Easter Jr. is not really that great of a fighter, and Granados is coming off a devastating loss to Danny Garcia, in which he just absolutely got obliterated. But for me personally, I'm really good friends with Adrian Granados. Like me and him are very, very close. Like we're so close. I mean, me and Adrian Granados, like this is a guy in Granados where a week or two after Ed Brown died, he called me at 3 a.m, and I was on the phone talking to him, and he's crying to me on the phone. And I've gone to fly to see him fight. I've worked out with him the day before his fight with Sean Porter. What else? I'm writing a chapter about him in my book, so I love it. I got a soft spot for Adrian Granados. He's someone who has become one of my friends in boxing. He's one of my very few friends in boxing, so I want him to win, but I have to be objective here. Okay, this is Robert Easter Jr.'s first fight at 140. He's not going to be as weight drained, so we might see a different Robert Easter Jr. But we've all seen in many cases Robert Easter Jr.'s career where Robert Easter Jr. basically doesn't know how to use his height, his reach. All right, he doesn't know how to use his height or his reach, and got a fighter like Adrian Granados who gets in crowds and has a high work rate can beat a guy like Robert Easter Jr. or at least make it look like he gets a good decision if he wins the fight, because we saw that when he fought Shavakov, he got a gift against Comey, got iced by Mikey Garcia. Robert Easter Jr. is a very, very, very overrated fighter. And if Adrian Granados, the question about this fight is, can Adrian Granados still make the weight? Because if he makes the weight against Robert Easter Jr., he is going to absolutely park and beat up Robert Easter Jr. because Adrian Granados at 140 is a much better fighter than he was at 147. But can he make the weight? I don't know yet. I do know it will be tough for him. But if he makes it and he's healthy and he feels strong, I see him beating Robert Easter Jr. And hopefully it's the first step towards getting back in the win column and maybe becoming a player at 140. So we'll see. You can see why people are avoiding him, Andrade. Not sure that the same hasn't happened with Billy Joe. I mean, listen, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Demetrius Boo Andrade, and there's no disrespect to Terence Carter, but I truly believe that Demetrius Boo Andrade is the most talented American fighter out there. He just has had the chance to prove himself against the other best guys in the world. But you see this guy Boo Andrade. He's fought fighters that go life and death with Billy Joe Saunders and Daniel Jacobs, and he gets 12, shuts them out, beats them like they're nothing, treats them like trash. Roy Jones Jr. in his hit song, Y'all Must Have Forgot, had a line, and it went something like this. And they got the nerve to say that I don't fight nobody, I just make them look like nobody. Y'all must have forgot. That's what Boo Andrade is doing. He's making guys look like nobody, even though they are somebodies. And, I see why they're getting ducked, why he's getting ducked. As for Billy Joe, he's British, so there's a bit more money there for him because boxing is always going to be popping in the UK. He's in line with Eddie Hearn, which is where a lot of the middleweights are. So, I mean, here's what it is. The new guys are coming through. But Dreamov, Shabab, Mazoud are looking very good. Yeah, I just saw. Didn't he just fight this weekend on the Warrington undercard? I might be wrong if I'm getting them mistaken for somebody else, but I think he just fought on the Warrington undercard. I saw like a couple rounds of this fight. Shakur Stevenson fights Joette Gonzalez next week for the vacant WBO featherweight title. And that's gonna be a really good fight. That's a fight where I know neither one of them like each other, so we're gonna see a pissed off Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson, there's a lot of people in the boxing industry, in the boxing world that are still doubting Shakur Stevenson, not because he's not a great fighter or not a great talent, because he is a great talent. He is an exceptional talent. He is, as far as young American fighters go, the creme de la creme, and deserves to be talked about like the creme de la creme. But it's just outside the ring, his life outside the ring. People have the fear that it'll one day affect him inside the ring. But I want to see Shakur. I want to see Shakur fight guys like Gary Russell, fight guys like Josh Warrington, because I feel like he could beat them. My dad asked me, Josh Warrington, he wants to fight Gary Russell, Shakur Stevenson. Can Warrington beat them? I think Gary Russell versus Josh Warrington would be a great fight. It'd be fun to watch. Just punches be flying everywhere. Because those guys, they get after it. They throw lots of punches. They have a high work rate. I don't want to doubt Josh Warrington because, you always want to say he has no punching power because you look at his record, but he's probably the perfect example of why you can't look at a guy's record and say, oh, well, That guy has no punching power, so he has no chance against this fighter, that fighter. I give Josh Warrington a chance against any fighter because he's just a hungry fighter, and he hasn't really lost his hunger. And I think that's the best quality of Josh Warrington, is that he doesn't lose his hunger. And with Gary Russell, I'd probably favor Gary, but that's a close fight to me. Now, Shakur Stevenson, I don't think he's being Shakur Stevenson. I think Shakur Stevenson is just different. He's a different caliber. He's a different breed. He's just different. So I would favor Shakur in that fight. HB says, I got Granados. He's an inside fighter with a higher work rate and a chin. Easter is a tall inside fighter. Gonna be similar to Amir Imam. It could be, but to be fair, I truly believe that Robert Easter Jr. is not anywhere near as talented as Amir Imam. Amir Imam is a hell of a talent. Amir Imam is a sharper puncher. A sharper puncher, more athletic, just better all the way around the board than Easter. So that's why I'm saying if Granados makes the weight and loses to Easter, I'll be shocked. Either Granados is lost it or Easter is better than I thought. If that happens. Head says BDA sucks, man. Okay, you ain't really rocking with BDA. Okay, I see that. Johnny Boy is brilliant. You damn right. Hey, and big shouts out to Johnny Boy. I love Johnny Boy. He keeps it raw and rugged. Hopefully, one day soon we can get him on one of my lives. I love to have him on. Be great to have on. I'm sure he'll have a lot to add. Private chat. Yo, StreamYard is really, really dope. Like, I didn't even realize like StreamYard was this dope. So yeah, it's StreamYard till the casket falls. If Shakur fights Warrington in the UK, I think Warrington could lose. Why would it matter where they fought? You think they're gonna get robbed or something? Oh, Johnny Boy's on BDA right now. Shout out to listen. BDA has been a popular podcast for a couple of years now, and I like what he's doing. SSB28 gives me some warning. He says, "Be careful. These StreamYards and Hangouts on the YTPC get crazy more times than not when talking boxing." But why is that any? Why would these be any different than when I'm live on Google Hangout or when I'm live on my iPhone? People say crazy shit all the time on boxing Hangouts. If I showed you guys the filtered part of my comment section, you wouldn't believe some of these comments I get. It's absolutely insane. And you know what? Listen, I don't mind it getting crazy on my channel. I think we need to spice things up here on True School Sports. We need to ignite a little fire into TSS. So you know what? I'm gonna send a PSA out. I invite any, and I'm gonna say this, any and all LDBC members to come on here and speak if they ever want to. Anybody, no matter what your viewpoint is, you can come on to True School Sports and you can say what you want. We can talk, we can disagree, we can agree. You can love me, you can hate me. It doesn't care from day in. But I like the format, man. I like the way it works. It's easy to use. I fuck with StreamYard heavy. What's going on with Tank? My dad asked, what's going on with Tank? Tank Davis? I haven't heard much about Tank. I just know that the last I heard, I saw a video today on Shady Slim's channel. Big shout out to Shady Slim, been holding it down for years in the YTBC. Shady Slim posted a video about apparently he took Floyd Mayweather's girlfriend or wife or something like that. So I mean that's the only thing I know about Tank. Supposedly he's out here taking Floyd Mayweather's girl. And yes, SSB. I heard some like that's the last thing I heard. I heard that Tank might be fighting the 28th against Gamboa. If that's what's happening, it's just another feather in the cap for the Gervonta Davis witness protection program because he needs to really step it up. And I understand what they're trying to do. get him some highlight reel knockouts, build him up. But come on, step him up at some point, please. For the love of God and everything that is righteous and pure, step up Tank Davis. He's too talented to be fighting a shotgun ball. Let's see. Oh, he said no one. My bad. I think Shakur could lose in the UK. Yeah, maybe. All boxing talking news. I believe you. I just watched a popular video game guy and the hate he got just to win. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there. Well, listen, we live in a crazy world. Okay, so listen, if I got on one of these hangouts and things got a bit out of hand, it's not unexpected. You gotta expect the unexpected. So not really bothered about whether things get out of hand or people argue. I welcome all arguments. We want all the smoke here on True School Sports. Hey, listen, anybody out there, like, I'm gonna make a post one day. I'm gonna invite people on. My dad asked me a question that he knows the answer to already. He says, "BT, do you still feel Fury is big dogs beating the heavyweight division?" Yes, Dad. I'm gonna tell you what I told you earlier when we were talking about Usyk. We made that Usyk video. Okay, there's not a man born from his mother that can beat Tyson Fury. He's the best heavyweight in the world, and I humbly and truly believe that he is the only heavyweight currently fighting that would have been a heavyweight world champion in every era of boxing, any era of boxing. That's how good I think he is. So I hope I answered that question, Dad. HB, Floyd Mayweather, 50-0, undefeated. Ange Tabiti, 18-0. Floyd, you lost off the money team. You go. For real, though, I never heard of Tabiti since he lost. Like, is he okay? Because he got KO'd. The last I heard of Tabiti or saw Tabiti, I just saw him on Instagram. I saw that he was training, but nothing. I didn't hear anything about a fight. Tabiti's one of those fighters where, like, when you watch him in the gym, when you watch him like in training videos, he looks fantastic. He's big. He throws those flashy combinations with Floyd Mayweather Senior, but he's not. He he never really impressed me. Like, I remember the first time I saw Andrew Tabiti fight was back in 2016. He fought Keith Tapia on Showbox. Keith Tapia was a young, up-and-coming Puerto Rican cruiserweight prospect, and I wasn't really that impressed with Tabiti because I noticed he had a bad habit of whenever a fighter crowds him, he automatically holds. He never knew how to fight on the inside. He never knew how to use his range. He was just a fighter that preyed off of low-level opposition and had flashy hand speed. But if you could lower his punch output, you beat him. You know, it was that simple. So I always had this feeling with Tabiti that whenever he stepped it up, he was going to get flattened. And the Junior Dortigo's fight confirmed all of my beliefs. You know, and Dortigo's has become a fighter that's learned to work behind his jab, and he has an amazing right hand. I would even say that he has probably the most underrated right hand in all of boxing. Pound for pound, one of the hardest punches out right now, Dortigo. So I don't think it'll ever be the same. And yeah, Tabiti he needs to really work on a lot of things, and I'm not sure you can teach him this late in his career. I'm not sure he can learn too much more. He is what he is at this point. Moving on though, has anybody heard what Broner is doing right now? He has been quiet since the Manny Pacquiao beatdown. The last thing I saw from Adrian Broner was an interview with my main man, Radio Raheem, where he said that he's retired from boxing and that he said he's gonna go. He's selling bricks. So that's what Broner is doing these days. That's what he's up to. Out here selling them bricks, moving them heavy. I think all heavyweights can be beat. Yes, all heavyweights can be beat, but I think Tyson Fury is definitely the guy to beat in the division. I think he's the best heavyweight in the world, and you know he's done everything he's done everything there is to do in boxing. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. He's the lineal heavyweight champion. He beat Deontay Wilder coming off his couch, and now you know boxing got boring for him. He has to go to WWE and he has to try to see if he can become WWE heavyweight champion. So you know Tyson Fury, the GOAT. I'm just playing with you, but I do think Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. And as long as his head is squared on straight, he's beating Deontay Wilder in the rematch, and he's beating him soundly. Lost One says, "Hey man, you You pick. I have no clue what the hell you're saying. You need please be more clear so I know what you're talking about. What do you think of Fury in WWE though? What if he gets injured in WWE? Well, Tyson Fury is not the first athlete to go on WWE. You know, we've seen many athletes over the years go on WWE. Karl Malone was on WWE. Mike Tyson was on WWE. Was even a special guest referee when Stone Cold fought one time and he had the 1, 2, 3 count right quick. Stone Cold stunned. Who did he stun? Who did he the Stone Cold stun to? I can't remember right now. But I like the fact that he's in WWE. I think it's great for Tyson Fury. I think it's great for his exposure. You know, WWE has a massive audience, and I feel like it's going to help his brand. It's going to help the Wilder fight become much more bigger, and it's going to help boxing in general. So, you know, it's about making money. It's about getting his name out there, and WWE is a great way to do that. So I like that. And the funny thing is, I was rewatching the Tyson Fury Steve Cunningham fight about a week ago, and like in the early parts of the fight, he was taunting Steve Cunningham, and the referee was like, Tyson Fury is acting like a WWE character, and that was like back in 2013. So it's like almost like foreshadowing, like almost like he was destined to be a WWE superstar. So who knows, man? He might be the guy that the WWE has been looking for to replace John Cena, because ever since John Cena uh, hasn't been the guy anymore, the WWE has been struggling to find that guy. You know, they've had like Roman Reigns and now they got Strowman and all these guys, and they haven't really cut the mustard as being the guy in WWE. So maybe Tyson Fury is the guy that WWE needs to take to the next level and get it back to where it used to be. So I like the fact that he's in WWE. But to answer your second question, what if he gets injured in WWE? Um, you know, it's possible, and you know, it would mean that if the Wilder fight would be off, and that Wilder better be fighting Alexander Usyk because he wants all the smoke. So that's what I gotta say about that. Besides Manny Pacquiao, name some fighters that fought more than 10 plus years. Okay, Evander Holyfield. You mean you had Evander Holyfield? You've had Roman Gonzalez. You've had Michael Nunn, James Toney, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Benny Leonard, Tony Zale, Rocky Garciano, Curtis Cokes, lots of fighters, man. A lot of them. Marco Huck. I mean, Johnny Nelson, David Hay, Chris Bird. But lost one. You asked me earlier who do I think wins the fight, so I'm thinking who. Oh yeah, you asked me now. Who do I pick for the Gvozdyk fight? Earlier I said that I'm picking Gvozdyk because I just think he's the more skilled fighter. He's a bit younger. He's had better professional experience in the professional ranks of boxing. Beterbiev, to me, because of his lack of experience, lack of, I wouldn't say lack of quality of ring experience, but in comparison to Gvozdyk, it pales in comparison to what Gvozdyk has had, and you know he hasn't been the most active fighter in recent years. So, I got Gvozdyk beating him, stopping him in the later rounds, and proving that he is one of the top guys in the division. I just think Beterbiev, as good as he is, he could win this fight by stoppage. You might be right, lost one. Beterbiev could win this fight by stoppage, but I really see him as the weakest champion in the division. He's gonna have to prove me otherwise. I don't think that the Fury cut is fully healed. If it opens in WWE, Bob Arum and Frank Warren will not be happy. Well, listen, they gotta make sure he doesn't get by no tables, doesn't get by no sledgehammers, no chairs. I'm not even sure if they use sledgehammers anymore in WWE because they pussified the hell out of wrestling. So I'm not even sure if they use sledgehammers anymore. But they need to keep him from getting hit by any sort of other weapons, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it could be a problem, but overall, it's good for him. Who is the A side in the Gvozdyk fight? That's a great question. Well, I'll say this: the fight is in Philadelphia. Gvozdyk's last fight was in Philadelphia. It's Gvozdyk to me. I mean, I don't know. Neither one of them's a big name. Fury could be a Kane 2.0, just choke slam people and leave. That'd be amazing if he had a mask and just started choke slam people. They should do that. What WWE should do, and I'm gonna give WWE an idea. So if any of you, if any of the 10 of you in here know um, anybody in the creative department of WWE, go tell them to go bring back Kane and just have Kane and Tyson Fury form a tag team and just start chokeslamming people. They can do that crazy shit with the fire where they raise their hands real slow like this, and they go like that, and the fire comes up from the ring. That would be pretty amazing. I want to see a Kane Tyson Fury tag team. Would you rather have a pound for pound boxing fight once a year against A-level fighters or 4 times against C-level fighters? For me personally, definitely, I'd rather have the pound for pound boxer fight once a year against the A-level fighters because at least we're getting bang for our buck. And if he wins, we know he's quality. If he loses, then we know that he's not up to par with the guy that's on the other side of the ring. As to where, like, when you have C-level fighter fighting a bunch of C-level fighters, a bunch of no-hopers, cans, bums, Uber drivers, whatever you want to call them, guys that he knows he's going to beat. I'd rather that be the case to fight once a year than 4 times against C-level opposition because what good is it to pad your record up against people you know you're going to beat? I mean, an example I can give you is like Gary Russell Jr., right? If you go look at his resume before he fought Lomachenko, it is padded as hell. He had a bunch of learning fights, but when he stepped up to fight Lomachenko, he was clearly out of his depth, and he was out of his depth when it came time to step up and fight Lomachenko. And mind you, this is a Lomachenko that only had two professional fights to that point. He had made his pro debut, and then he fought Salido and lost. And this is a Gary Russell that had 15, 20 some odd fights and looked way out of his depth. So it's not about the amount of fights; it's about the quality of fights. It's like anything else in life. It's not about quantity; it's about quality. You know, even when it comes to like something like women, would you rather have? I mean, you know what? I know some of you guys. I know how some of you guys are. So maybe I shouldn't ask this question, but like, would you rather have 4 girls that look like a 5, or would you rather have 2 girls that are 9s out of 10? Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have the 2 girls that are 9s, straight up. That's just me. I know some of you don't care. Y'all just say that, hey, girls are all the same no matter what. To each his own. But it's better to have the 2 9s to me, the 2 girls that are 9s, than the 4 4s or the 5 2s. Straight up. But I know a lot of guys, a lot of guys just don't care. They rather have whatever. They take whatever they can get because they have no standards. It's like a lot of people that I happen to know around me, like people that I'm friends with, they'll say like, "BT, you see that girl over there? She's fine." And I'm like, "That one right over there?" And they'll say, "Yup, that one right over there." I'm like, "She's not. That girl's like a 5." But they just insist. So you gotta have standards. You gotta go for quality over quantity. And as a fighter, you should be looking to go for quality over quantity. SSB28 asks, Bivol was talking about fighting Joshua Buatsi in the UK. Who wins that fight? Man, that's a great fight, man. And I'm happy you brought that up. I was gonna make a video about this because these are both fighters I can say I'm fans of. Um, Bivol is someone who's really being starved out of elite fights. Buatsi, he's not, he's ranked, but he's not someone that guys are gonna jump up to fight right now because there's not enough money in it. To say who wins that fight, I mean, it's tough to me that right now, just because of the experience, I would favor Bivol, but Buatsi is so good that I think he could beat any of the light heavyweight champions right now. I think he's that damn good. I made a video saying that I think he's the most talented fighter Eddie Hearn has. If you told me, Brennan, you had to pick one fighter in Eddie Hearn's stable to win you a fight and your life is on the line, I would pick. I would definitely pick Joshua Buatsi. I would pick Joshua Buatsi. Extremely talented, great fundamentals. Just a guy that looks the part. He looks like world championship material. And I think with a bit more experience, I'm going to be leaning towards favoring him in a Bivol fight. But that's a great fight. I hope it happens, and I'm happy that Bivol is the first light heavyweight that's called him out. He said that if Buatsi works his way up into becoming mandatory, that he'll gladly fight him in the UK. And he's the first person I heard say that. So shout out to Bivol for that. If there could be more fights and like a good one, maybe a challenger, I guess why not? LOL, BT with life lessons. You damn straight, champ. And if the longer you stay tuned, you'll get more life lessons because on True School Sports, you don't just get boxing talk. You don't just get boxing analysis. You don't just get world class interviews. You get every now and then we drop some life gems on you. From I might be 24, but everybody says I'm mentally I'm a lot older than I actually am. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna get it right quick. Hold on. You guys keep commenting. Hold on. I'm gonna get me a nice little drink right quick. Keep commenting though. We're getting a bit hungry here. Marshall Ministry, what's up, champ? He says, hell, how's it going at True School Sports? Just signed on. Missed the first 75 minutes. Hello to everyone else in the chat. Yeah, shout out to you, man. And listen, if any of you guys are interested in joining on to talk boxing, I would love to talk with you guys. In fact, there is a link. Like, boom. If you want to join, the link is right there. I'm not sure how this works, so it'd be great if one of you guys clicked join so I could see how this actually all works. But yeah, shout out to Marshall Ministry. SSB asks, who's on the Gvozdyk Beterbiev undercard? Now, that's a great question. I saw that Michael Seals is on the undercard. You got him on the undercard. You got I'll pull it up right quick. Hold on. So you got Luis Colazo. He's on the undercard. You got Josue Vargas, Joseph Adorno, Julian Rodriguez, Sonny Canto, and that's really it. There's not really one fight that stands out too much. I mean, I guess maybe Luis Colazo versus that guy's name who I can't pronounce, who's like 16-0. That looks like it could be a standout fight. Size versus skills. Example: Hurd versus Williams, Hurd versus Laura, Earl versus Mikey, Campbell versus Loma. Oh, you want examples of that? I mean, Canelo versus Khan, Kell Brook versus GGG. You got Billy Khan versus Joe Louis. Yeah, Billy Khan versus Joe Louis. That's an example of one. Roy Jones versus James Toney, although Roy wound up winning. Even though James, I think, was naturally a bigger guy, Roy wound up winning that fight. And I guess those are a couple of examples you could give. You know what? Let's go to the boxing news. Let's check the boxing news, and we'll run through a couple of stories here on True School Sports. By the way, it's your boy BT. We are live here on True School Sports. It is currently 2:08 a.m. here on the East Coast. They told me, they told me, they said, BT, you need to learn to keep a balanced diet. So I said, okay, I'll keep a balanced diet. I got the Dr. Pepper in my left hand. I got the Yoo-Hoo in my right. What you want to do, champ? We got sugar in all forms here on True School Sports. But yeah, we're here. We're live. It's, my first time using StreamYard. I really, really like it. So hopefully we can do more of these. And I would like to get some guests on. So that'd be great if we can get some guests on StreamYard. Yeah. Make sure you smash that like button as well. Muscle Memory is here in the chat. Let me see. Let me find out. Hello?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm kind of coughing a little, so I hope I'll be muting quite often so I don't, disrupt anything.
It's all good, man. How you
I
feeling
was,
about? How do you feel about fights this weekend?
well, the big fight's a really big one. I'm not sure exactly what else is going on this weekend, but this is one I've been looking for months. I mean, I was hoping it would happen earlier because I had this gut feeling like, man, something's gonna happen that it's not gonna go through. But I'm glad like it went through because remember last year Joe Smith Jr. and Beterbiev got canceled, so
Yeah,
I
I
had
remember that.
that. Yeah, I had that same feeling about this because they announced it pretty early. I was like, damn, all the way in fall. I think it was like early summer.
Hmm.
But I'm glad, like again, knock on wood, nothing's happened that's disrupted it. So yeah,
Yeah.
awesome fight. Just
Be-
promises fireworks. Hopefully.
yeah, Beterbiev really can't afford to lose much more time. He already lost enough time being signed to Al Heyman.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was stalled. He lost like a good, like solid, I'd say 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not really a whole lot of cards going on this weekend. Like there's a card in the UK going on, but it's like mainly like UK fighters. Like you're not gonna know who a lot of those fighters are unless you really follow like the UK boxing.
No, next week's pretty big. The World
Oh,
Boxing Super Series and all that.
oh, that's great. Yeah, you got that. You got the Granados versus Easter, and then you got Lubin versus Nathaniel Gallimore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who are you favoring this week though with Beterbiev and Gvozdyk? Who you got and why?
Okay. I said my prediction on BDA earlier today, so I'll repeat the same thing here. I think it goes to distance. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I think the guys from the boxing rant I was just listening to a couple hours ago, they predicted it to go to distance too. I think it goes to distance, and I think Gvozdyk edges it out, maybe majority decision. I predict knockdowns on both sides too, multiple knockdowns, at least one on each side.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because both these guys are massive punchers. Like, but for some strange reason, I feel like Gvozdyk. I mean, at least that's how I feel. I feel like Gvozdyk doesn't get the credit he deserves for his punching power because everybody's just focused on how technical he is, and they're just looking at Beterbiev as the puncher. But I could see a scenario where that happens where you get a knockdown on each side. I hope that happens. That'd be an entertaining fight.
Yeah, of course. And I think they're going to be more cautious, both of them, than instead of being like reckless. I think it's going to be a very cautious fight, at least the first half.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like one of those one like Jose Ramirez, Maurice Hooker, where they just come out guns blazing.
Yeah, or any of Better Beef's previous fights. I think he's going to be just a slightly more cautious.
Yeah. Did you see Beterbiev versus Hot Rod?
I have it on my channel in 1080. If anyone wants to see it, by the way, it's on my
I might,
channel.
I might need to go rewatch that because I remember that fight was on the same day as another fight.
It was the Canelo. It was the Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, yeah, Canelo versus Jacobs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was. I remember like I thought Hot Rod was gonna give Beterbiev a good fight, and Beterbiev just got him out of it like it was nothing.
yeah,
From what
two
I remember.
rounds, I think. Yeah, I was surprised how brutal Beterbiev was in that fight because Hot Rod, yeah, like he had the impressive. I know we scored a victory against Marcus Brown. He's
Yeah, I was.
tall, he's rangy, and Beterbiev just blew him out there. Like from the minute the bell rang, if you go and watch that fight, I said this on BDA two today. I was like, if you guys want to like an Easter egg, go rewatch that fight and pay attention to when the bell rings for the first round, and pay attention to the reaction from the announcer like he like gasps because he trips out how hard like just immediately Beterbiev just hits him and like Gvozdyk flies like 10 feet back. So if you want to trip out on that, like pay attention to that when the bell rings for the first round, and just immediately like Beterbiev just on the offense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like that to me really showed the quality of Beterbiev because I don't know. The thing with him is like you don't really he doesn't do like a lot of interviews, like so you don't really hear much from him, and he's not really the most active fighter in the world. So it was a good reminder of just how quality of a fighter he is. He's still an elite fighter in the division.
Yeah, he did a. He was featured in a little short segment on ESPN today. I saw with what's his name, the UFC fighter, the Jean Pierre.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. George St. Pierre.
Yeah, George. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know. I never followed his career. I always found him boring.
Me neither. Me neither. I don't really follow MMA. I just know who he is because he's a big name. He's a mainstream like UFC guy, so I know who he is.
Yeah, he's been featured in movies and stuff too. But yeah, I saw like he did like a little segment interview, looked like a little pizza shack or something. I don't know. But yeah, he doesn't do that many interviews. He keeps it really brief.
Yeah. Okay. So like, what do you think? Like, what do you think should the winner of this fight like Kovalev, Canelo? Would Canelo consider fighting the winner of this fight? What do you think?
That's a good question. Um, because I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Yeah.
Who do you prefer? Who does the audience, the diehards, who do we prefer to win this fight moving forward? What's better for boxing in the division in general? Does if Gvozdyk wins, is it more likely he a fight between him and Bivol gets made, or is it more likely a fight between Kovalev and Beterbiev gets made? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like everything about this fight, from including who I like personally, is 50-50. So I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to, I feel like if Beterbiev comes out victorious, Kovalev is definitely fighting him because Kovalev is still pissed about losing to him in the amateurs. He really wants to avenge that because I guess like when Kovalev was in the amateurs, like Beterbiev was like he was kind of looked at like as that guy in the amateurs, and Kovalev was like he was good, but he wasn't looked at like how Beterbiev was. So
Yeah.
he's gonna
Kovalev was robbed too in the amateurs. I have a fight of his where he gets robbed in the amateurs in the finals in Russia. Beterbiev did much better in the amateurs, Olympics too.
yeah, absolutely. So he's gonna wanna punish Beterbiev if he can for that. Gvozdyk, I don't know. I could see Gvozdyk fighting Bivol. I don't know why. I get a feeling he'd be more prone to fighting Bivol before
Yeah.
Beterbiev because like if Beterbiev wins, it's gonna be Kovalev immediately.
You think win or lose, Kovalev against Canelo, win or lose, if Beterbiev wins, Kovalev will get the first shot at Beterbiev titles, or
Yes, I think he will because I think it's gonna be a fight they both want so much. Why waste time?
yeah,
Neither one of them really strikes me like we know Kovalev doesn't waste time when it comes to making big fights, and Beterbiev can't waste time.
exactly. Well,
So we'll see.
Kovalev can't really waste time either.
No, he can't either. He's no spring. Yeah, he's pretty old himself. You know, honestly, if he looks like let's say if Kovalev like let's say he just knocks out Canelo and it's like a signature knockout, like I think he should just retire on that note. Like retire on that note.
Retire if he knocks out Canelo?
If he knocks out Canelo, retire on that note. Let that be the last image people have of you. That's what I think he should do.
Damn. Uh,
I
I
know he
think
won't. He won't, but he should.
I sense an ego and like Kovalev being very like hard headed. I think he's gonna want to stay and at least fight one of the other light heavyweights.
Yeah, for sure. He will.
Probably Gvozdyk last because I saw this interview like a week ago or so where Gvozdyk was being asked about the division and stuff, and Gvozdyk himself said Kovalev last. He considers Kovalev a friend, and like I think he doesn't want to get in a fight with him. So he said
Yeah,
he like twice he said it in the same interview, but Kovalev last. So there's that.
absolutely. Lost one in the comments. He asked, "Do you guys see Kell Brook coming back anytime soon? Maybe on the AJ undercard. Do you think he should come back? What do you think, man? You think Kell Brook should come back?
And fight at 154.
Lost one didn't specify, but yeah, I think that's where he should fight. He has no business at 147 anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what's that gonna do? Like, he's just gonna kill himself, and what's he gonna do? Go fight Amir Khan? Like, I'm so sick of talking about that fight. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty cringe. Like they think like we're still like all interested and care after
I don't
they
even make
both take
videos about it
losses.
anymore. I remember that there was a point in time, like there was about a good 2.5 year, maybe 3 year period, where when I would go on boxing scenes to go look at like the news to make videos, if I saw Kell Brook and Amir Khan, immediately making a video about it. But now it's like, what's the point? I'm just gonna say the same thing I said the other 300 times. I made videos about them.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
I didn't follow Brooke that much, so I don't have much to say. So if you want to like complete that answer, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Kell Brook should definitely fight at 154. To have any chance, if he wants to have any sort of success in boxing, he needs to go fight 154 because that's been his weight for years now. He's been killing himself to make 147, and I don't know. I just don't want to see Kell Brook get hurt or lose anymore. Cause I like Kell Brook. I would consider myself an actual Kell Brook fan. So I hope he gets it together. But I doubt he will. I doubt he will, to be honest.
Yeah, I commend him for fighting Triple G at a time where nobody wanted to fight Golovkin. Like, come on, he
That is
deserves
true.
respect just for that.
He even won a couple rounds.
Yeah, at least two.
At least
I
two.
think so.
He had some great moments in that fight, like some fantastic moments in that fight. I remember when he was trading punches in the center of the ring with Golovkin. He hit him with the one uppercut and lifted Golovkin slightly off his feet. That
Yeah, I
was
remember that.
my favorite part of that fight.
Yeah.
Someone else asked, HB asked, who should Anthony Yard fight next? Lions in the camp.
Marcus Brown just called him out like a few days ago.
That's a great fight. Marcus Brown got his ass whooped by Pascal, man. Pascal out here old as hell, whooping all these young boys, man. Like he whooped Brown, and before that he whooped Ahmed El Bialy.
I heard it's gonna be official, Pascal and Badu Jack for the winner. I'm very down for that.
For the winner of which fight? What fight?
Badu Jack and Jean Pascal.
I'm saying who they're gonna fight.
Each other.
I'm saying are they gonna fight anybody? Like is the winner of that fight gonna fight anybody? Like any of the champions?
I don't know, but I just mean that fight in general. I'm down because they're both like 36, 37.
That's a great matchup. I love that matchup. I think Pascal will win.
Yeah, you think Pascal beats him?
I think so.
Yeah, I never took Badu Jack that seriously at 175.
Nah, he never really had a chance at 175. He gets moved up because he couldn't make 168 no more.
Yeah, he beat Cleverly, but that's like Cleverly like 4 years removed after getting run over by Kovalev. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't think he's a title contender.
Nah.
Gatekeeper.
Yeah, gatekeeper with a name. Good name.
Yeah, name recognition.
The only Mayweather fighter that ever amounted to anything, pretty much.
That's funny.
You see, we got Yard versus Caleb Johnson, then Pascal. I'll be down for that. Caleb Johnson's a solid light heavyweight at the British level.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna make tea real quick, so I'm gonna go on mute.
All right. Enjoy your tea.
Thank you. It's gonna be ginger, lemon, and honey.
Ginger, lemon, honey. That's at 2:23 a.m. blend.
It's 11 here. I'm on the West Coast.
Where are you at on the West Coast?
In Sin City, Vegas.
Okay, I like Vegas. I need to go out to Vegas soon.
You've been here before?
I've been to Vegas twice. I went to Vegas twice in 2017.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I went there. The last time I went there was for Kovalev.
That's what I was literally thinking. I was about to ask you, did you come for that rematch?
I was there. I met that week. I met Virgil Hunter. I actually met Virgil Hunter.
Oh, nice.
He ducked me for an interview. That shit was hilarious.
No, not nice.
That wasn't nice.
No.
But yeah, go make your tea.
All right, sure.
Yeah, but anybody else who wants to come in here and join me and my main man, Muscle Memory, feel free. The link will be right here. So if you want to join, you feel free. Get your thoughts out there. Talk boxing with your boy BT. Let's see. Let's get to some more questions. We've been live. We've already been live for 100 minutes, and there's no signs of slowing down here on True School Sports. We're just gonna keep it going, like the Energizer Bunny. All right, SSB28. He said the only people interested in that fight are Brooke Khan and Eddie Hearn. Nobody checking for that fight no more. You damn right. Fuck that fight. We ain't trying to see that fight no more. That fight has no bearings on boxing whatsoever. Because it used to be a legitimate fight. Like, one guy was world champion, other guy was top 10. These guys meant something in the welterweight division. Right now, neither one of them were worth a damn at welterweight. Depends on what he has learned from the Kovalev fight. A tune-up, he can get another title shot directly. Yeah, he makes lighter weight just comparing to Bivol. No clue you're talking about there. Do you think Price has any shot with Chisora? Think it means anything if he manages to win, or is he shot? Well, look, you gotta look at it like this. For Price, I think this would kind of be a great way to salvage his what otherwise been a piss poor career. I mean, this is a guy in Price that was supposed to be the next big thing. He represented Great Britain in the Olympics, flopped in the pros. He just beat Dave Allen in a fight that really he shouldn't have been winning. Dave Allen is a better fighter than David Price, but David Price proved that I guess Dave Allen wasn't as good as some of us thought. So, I think it'd be great. I think the Chisora win might be the biggest win of his career because Chisora to me is still legit heavyweight. He's a legit heavyweight. Yeah, he has a shot. He has a puncher's chance because he can punch. And Chisora is not, we're not going to get Chisora confused with Pernell Whitaker. We're not going to see him, slipping and sliding and ducking a million shots. So, I'm not gonna say I like his chances, but I'm not riding him off as much as I would at other fights just because of how Chisora is. They call him War Chisora for a reason. So, ironically, Mayweather is one of the best fighters ever and one of the worst promoters ever. You know what's funny? Let me tell you this about Mayweather. Okay, he's not a great promoter, but you know what? He tries. I'll tell you that much. He tries. And if anything, I think Floyd Mayweather is actually a little bit too good to his fighters now. I do have some friends in Vegas. I have one friend that doesn't train at the Mayweather gym anymore, but he knows a lot of fighters in the Mayweather gym, so I get a lot of information from him. And it's usually accurate. I mean, it's usually insanely accurate. So if I say anything about what happens, it's usually pretty accurate. And I've heard stories from many of my friends that either work in the boxing game or are fighters or just around Mayweather in some way, shape, or form that he gives these guys get Bentleys and he puts them up in houses. And this is when they're like 4 or 5-0. They're already experiencing the fruits of their labor before they've had any labor, So I think he's an enabler. He enables the fighters to be entitled, to be not the best version of themselves. So, yeah, he tries, but he's got too many yes men around him, and I just think to be honest, like not many of his fighters are very good. Like just being honest, like how many Mayweather fighters have you seen where you say, "Damn, that motherfucker can fight"? I haven't really seen too many. The only two guys that I can think of why I saw them off rip and said that guy is extremely talented is Tank Davis and Badu Jack eventually turned into one. But these guys like Kevin Newman and Jalen Love and Quantavious Cash. I mean, come on, man. You're Floyd Mayweather. You can do better than the Quantavious Cashes of the world, But one fighter in the stable that I will say is a bit underrated, that has improved a lot over time is Ladarius Memphis Miller. He's not a bad fighter. He's keeping coming up. So shout out to him. But yeah, all boxing talk and news. He was talking about Anthony Yard, his next fight. Yeah, I like Yard, man. I like to see what he can do at light heavyweight. I think he's still got a good 2 more fights at light heavyweight. Get him a tune-up and see what he's got left, But honestly, I stand by what I said earlier. He needs to get rid of Tunde Ajayi because Tunde Ajayi is nothing more than the English patty cake master. What do I call that? A patty cake master, motivational speaker like Virgil Hunter. He's the English Virgil Hunter. That's what he is. And any fighters that go to Tunde Ajayi are gonna get beat up in big fights, straight up. Most memories back. What's up, champ?
Yeah, can you hear me clearly? Because I moved to the garage now.
I can hear you crystal clear.
Awesome.
I was just talking about Tunde Ajayi and Anthony Yard.
I was listening.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think Anthony Yard should keep him or get a new trainer? What do you think he should do?
I guess get a new trainer, but I understand if there's some kind of bond, between them.
Yeah. Well, you can kind of see they have a bond. Like they definitely have a bond. But I mean, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about winning and losing.
I mean, he lost to the best light heavyweight this decade. People are rushing to conclusions too early. If he starts losing to, let's say, like somebody like a Callum Johnson, not to take anything away from him, but you know what I mean, like a couple of levels lower, then I guess there's room for concern. But like at the moment, like he traveled to Russia and got knocked out late by an all-time great light heavyweight. That's
true.
Whatever.
Like I could see, like if he loses to like I don't know, like Jesse Hart or like Sullivan Barrera, then
Jesse Hart, yeah.
Then there's a problem. Massive problem.
At least one more fight, minimum. One more fight.
Yeah, like because he's I don't know how the hell he gets all the way down to the light heavyweight. Like that's too much. That's too much. Cause he's walking on like 200 plus, easy.
Oh wow, I didn't know that, but yeah, dude looks massive.
He's huge. He's an Adonis for the weight.
Yeah, but it's a glamour division. Like, he goes up to cruiserweight. We'll know him or we'll follow his fights, but majority of people don't pay attention to those in between divisions.
Yeah, because cruiserweight's down is just mainly like those Eastern Europeans and guys like that. Nobody's really checking for cruiserweights like that. That's why Usyk really didn't get the credit he deserved for his cruiserweight run because nobody cares about the cruiserweight division. That's outside of like people like us, like hardcore boxing fans. Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. What do you think he's gonna do at heavyweight, Usyk? Because a lot of people I've heard a lot of opinions on this.
How is he gonna do at heavyweight?
Yeah, like how do you think he matches up with like some of the top guys in the division?
I think he does just fine because there's no one guy at heavyweight, really. I think they're all vulnerable. I think they all, like on a bad night, lose to each other. I think Usyk does fine. He's big enough. He's long enough. He's proven he can take punches from people who fought at heavyweight. He beat Bradis, who knocked out Manuel Char. Sparked him out. He who was the other guy? He beat Marco Hook, who fought at heavyweight, and some people think beat Povetkin.
Yeah.
So I don't see any concern really for Usyk. I think he'll do fine. I think the biggest concern is getting the fights. Will he be able to get the fights? Already, you hear that the winner of Ruiz Joshua 2 is going to most likely vacate the WBO. So it's already like a shaky start,
Yeah. He might develop a reputation real quick as the boogeyman.
Yeah, or the boogeyman, or like what Wilder fans have been saying this week, like, oh, he's done nothing. What has he done? Who is he? Blah, blah, blah. Like just an excuse to just not fight him.
Is that what the Wilder fans are saying these days? I don't keep up anymore. I can't.
Well, because I uploaded the fight from this past weekend. I got like 50K views, and I was noticing the comments. Yeah, there was a good portion of people saying that.
Okay. It's funny, like, cause I think I don't know if you were here earlier when we were talking about Tyson Fury being in the WWE, but a lot of people were saying, well, what happens if Tyson Fury hurts himself wrestling? And I'm like, well, okay, well then Wilder should go fight Usyk. He's talking a bunch of nonsense about Usyk. Go fight him.
If he gets hurt and he misses the rematch and
Yeah, if
time or
he
whatever.
hurts himself wrestling and they can't make the rematch right away.
What's more likely, Wilder gets hurt fighting Ortiz or Fury gets hurt wrestling?
Wilder getting hurt against Ortiz because Wilder, they call him Windmill Wilder for a reason. He's gonna bust his hands and have to get surgery and all kinds of stuff.
Dislocated shoulder.
Dislocated his shoulder. But personally, I think he's gonna beat the hell out of Luis Ortiz. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you think it's gonna go similar to the Sterling?
Yeah, it'll be something like that. He's gonna put him in the metaphorical casket in this fight.
Yeah, might feel bad. I like Ortiz.
I like him too. He's very nice. I've met him plenty of times here in South Florida. He's great, but
Oh yeah, that's right. You're close
he's
to
just
home.
he's just old. He's old and
Is it true? Like all the rumors that he's like, oh, the dude's probably 50. This that. I don't know. I never saw it.
nobody's ever really confirmed it. Like there's people that like in the boxing world they'll say he's 50, but we never seen a birth certificate, so nobody really knows. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of believe it. He looks old, bro. If you see him in person, he looks old.
Maybe he just has like that stressed out look, coming from like a, I hate to say it, but like a poor, nation or
Yeah.
the daughter situation, all that. He has that like stressed out look.
Could be it. You're right. Good point. Somebody asked, Usyk has tough fights versus Wilder, AJ, Reese, Fury. He can win against any of them, but I don't think they are definite wins or assured. And then all boxing talk news. Then he says, Fury versus Usyk for the vacant WBO title. That could be a fight. Why not?
I heard it's going to be probably Parker if they do that. The vacant WBO situation is probably going to be Parker.
Well, that's his old belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parker was just with this man random, but Parker was. Did you see that picture today? There was a picture I saw on Instagram today. It's like Tyson Fury was like in a club, and it's like Fury, and he was with Mayweather, and then Joseph Parker's in the back. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. If you go on Tyson Fury's like Instagram, you'll see it. It's crazy. Parker's just there in the back, looks like a fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never really rated Parker as a legitimate champion. I thought of him more as a paper champion. Didn't he win like a vacant belt and?
Yeah, he won it. He won the vacant belt against Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, and just even that fight, it was close, and I don't know, nothing really devastating, and I don't know. I just never really.
You never rated him.
Yeah, it's like I'm not saying he's not a top 10 heavyweight. I just didn't rate him as a
elite
legitimate champion. It sucks because like I thought Povetkin would beat him, I think it's a sad truth that Povetkin's never been a legitimate champion, and like someone like Parker has. And when Povetkin was mandatory for
Charles
Parker,
Martin has.
Yeah, or what was his name? Ruslan Chagayev.
Oh my God, yeah, Ruslan Chagayev. Preza Kendo.
Or even that Voluev, or I could never pronounce his name.
Nikolai Valuev.
Yeah, the 7-footer, but he was nothing special. But he was like champion, and Povetkin hasn't been champion. It's kind of depressing. I thought like Povetkin would have beaten Parker had they fought 2 years ago when Povetkin was Mando. But of course, I mean I don't blame Parker for taking the big payday and the big fight in the UK instead.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just kind of I'm still kind of pissed that we never got to see Povetkin versus Wilder. That's a fight I really wanted to see.
Yeah, I never really gave in to that because I knew like back of my mind like it's not happening. I just don't see it. Wilder traveling to Russia to make that fight, like just no way.
So do you think Wilder ducked Povetkin?
Well, didn't Povetkin win the court case about?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's something fishy about what happened with those test results or whatnot, but I mean, it makes sense when you just look at everything else that's going on politically and Just it makes sense. They're not gonna risk that, especially hasn't Wilder already been knocked out by a Russian,
Well, yeah, true. Someone said if Spilka, last one said if Spilka can beat up Wilder for 9 rounds, how much of a shot does Usyk have with his footwork? It's true, man. Artur Spilka looked like freaking Pernell Whitaker out there at times, the way he was making Deontay Wilder miss.
Yeah.
That was probably one of Wilder's tougher fights.
Yeah, it's just he just has to avoid that right hand. And I said this on Nordic's channel a couple days ago. If Gvozdyk was able to resist Stevenson's left, and we both can agree, I think that Stevenson is far more talented than Wilder. What are the chances Usyk avoids Wilder's right, and Usyk is more talented than Gvozdyk? Like, think of it that way.
Yeah. I see that. SSB28 says that I should ask Luis Ortiz for his year of birth after he's done working out because he won't be thinking 100%.
I'll be right back in 1 minute.
All right. To respond to your comment though, SSB28, if I was gonna do that, well, I could probably do that, but the person I could really get it out of him is my dad. My dad can talk to anybody. My dad's a fucking talker, man. My dad's the best at talking. And plus there's my Spanish isn't that great. My dad's Spanish is A1, so I'm sure he can get out of him. So maybe next time we see Ortiz, because at some point in time, like damn near guaranteed, I'm gonna see Ortiz again, because he's always, whenever there's like small local fights, and I go to most of them, he's there because the Cubans from his gym are always on the card. Oh, since those fields, Povetkin has either aged or his performance has dropped off for some reason. It's suspect, and I like Povetkin. I don't know. I thought he fought pretty good against Joshua. But maybe that's just me. I thought he did all right against Joshua. Yeah, we're approaching 2 hours here on True School Sports. You see that? It's crazy. 2 hours of boxing talk here on True School Sports. Now that I've kind of popped my streams. Now that I popped my StreamYard cherry. Now that we've done that, I'm gonna either tomorrow or whenever. I'm gonna talk to some people about getting them on here. Yes. You back?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is Beterbiev's best fight?
His best fight?
Yeah, what's his best win?
Honestly, I would probably say I think Caleb Johnson is his best win. Caleb Johnson or his last fight, either one. Either Hot Rod or Caleb Johnson.
Damn lighter. Callum Johnson? You think that's his best win?
Either Hot Rod or Caleb Johnson. Anything before Caleb Johnson and Hot Rod is questionable. Everything. I mean, he beat Gabriel Campillo, Alexander Johnson, Enrico Colling. I mean, he hasn't really fought a lot of high-level fighters. Like while they were still high level, like he fought Tavares Cloud when Tavares Cloud was at the end of his career. Beat him. But I'm gonna say Hot Rod or Caleb Johnson, either one.
Yeah. So do you agree Bival's win over Barrera trumps everything Beterbiev's done in the professional?
Yes. Because when he fought Barrera, Barrera was on a winning streak. He hadn't lost for a while. He was coming into the fight with a lot of momentum. And the way it wasn't just that he beat him, it was the way he beat him. I mean, he outclassed Barrera and then stopped him in the 12th round.
Yeah.
It was a great performance. I actually remember at that time, I remember thinking to myself, like, I wasn't really too sold on Bivol at the time. And Barrera was like, he was winning fights looking good. So I'm like, okay, Barrera's going to give him a good fight, and he's gonna maybe expose this guy a little bit. And that's not what happened. He absolutely outclassed Barrera.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I was just wondering because I asked the chat today, but I don't think it got noticed. And I was just curious myself, like looking at it, like what is really his best win, you know? Because we know, okay, Stevenson is clearly Gvozdyk's best win.
Hmm.
Barrera, Pascal, but what about Beterbiev? What's his best win?
Yeah, probably Hot Rod and Caleb Johnson. But that really just says more about him not being able to get the big fights more than it does about you know how good he is. I mean, we know he's a quality fighter because to beat those guys like Caleb Johnson and Hot Rod the way he does that, it shows the difference in class. But this is his first true test against like an elite.
He's
And
fallen before. I was looking for that fight today. I wasn't able to find it anywhere. Uh,
ooh,
they fall in amateurs, right? Beterbiev beat him.
yeah, I never seen it before.
Yeah, it would be nice to find it. It would be like a gem.
One fight I do need to go watch though is I need to watch Usyk versus Joe Joyce. Everybody keeps telling me, Brandon, go watch Usyk versus Joe Joyce. So I was like, okay, I'll go watch Usyk versus Joe Joyce because they fought in the World Series of Boxing.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen that either. What I have noticed with Usyk though, he's progressed in every single fight. He's gotten better.
And like in what ways? Like how do you feel he's progressed?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know how to articulate it. He's just gotten better every
Yeah, he's
single.
got better. Like you feel like he just figured himself out more in the ring at each fight.
Yeah,
Like
because
he's got.
if you watch, I have this on my channel too. The Beterbiev and Usyk 2012 Olympics matchup, and I think personally Beterbiev got robbed in that fight. But and if you watch Usyk now, or if you watch him against Glowacki and then against Bradis, he just I don't know. He just keeps elevating. Just yeah.
That's the great fighters do though. So I mean,
Yeah,
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, like it's like if you look at somebody like I mean I know he's not anywhere close to being as skilled as Usyk, but like even Anthony Joshua has even improved since the amateurs by a lot in my opinion because like when he fought in the amateurs like I don't think his style has changed a lot. He just gotten better at his style, like the up and down 1-2 uppercut, just being a big, strong, brawling guy. He's figured himself out. He's got more comfortable with his identity in the ring.
yeah, yeah. That Joshua win over Povetkin was impressive.
It was, man. I can't believe how badly he got folded up against Andy Reeves. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was very uncanny.
And now it's like I'm very curious to see what happens in this rematch. Like because part of me believes that like because apparently he's getting paid like crazy money for this fight, like 75 million is what I heard was thrown out there. And I don't know. I almost part of me feels like this could be like a retirement check for Joshua. Like, cause what more? He's made a fortune on boxing, and he said in interviews himself that basically he's now getting his motivation back for boxing. So if you had to get your motivation back for boxing, it means you lost it at some point.
I wouldn't take it too seriously. Like losing, everybody's supposed to lose. Back in the day, everybody fought everybody, and everybody would lose.
Now I
It's
know.
common. It's just nowadays since Mayweather, they made this old thing like such a big deal, you know, to have this the zero by your name. Like,
Well, it's the worst. It's the worst. And then like when you talk to casual fans who don't know anything about boxing, they'll say like they'll see a fighter with like one of the 10 million trinkets they have available in boxing, and and then they'll say, oh, and he's undefeated. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. He could be trash and you're undefeated. Like you can literally be like hot trash and be undefeated in boxing at the elite level.
yeah,
About who
especially
you fought.
with like all the social media, it's so easy to be like a self-publisher and just put yourself out there and be famous and popular, uh, even though you haven't really beaten anyone that you haven't. Oh, I think that adds to it, you know.
Oh my god! And then it's like, and then you get like you said, like I follow a lot of fighters on Instagram. Like I'm on Instagram, so I follow a lot of fighters, and it's crazy. Like I know guys who are like 4-0, 3-0, 5-0. They have not fought anybody, but you would swear to God they're a world champion with all like they have their crazy like videos in the punching bag and the pads and all this nonsense. And
Yeah,
he would be like, "Oh my God, that boy's showing out." I'm like, "No, he's not. He's just hitting the pads."
Yeah, it's social media, man. Like I know you're a little younger than me, but
Yeah,
remember when MySpace came out?
I remember. I had a MySpace.
It fooled everybody after like a year or two. Because in the beginning, you knew who's who because of high school. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, for example, like I know it's a harsh term, but like every loser like would just go and collect like thousands of friends, and like the cool kids weren't they didn't give a shit. They only like about like MySpace and like glamorizing it and like making it pretty and stuff. But like the losers would, and then if you don't know that person in your city, like let's say you're from like a different city, you would just assume like this is like a somebody, you know, and that's
Yeah,
yeah, that's what like social media does.
yeah. I remember. Like, I remember I was on MySpace like when I was like in eighth grade.
Yeah,
Yeah, MySpace is crazy. That was like a whole. That was like opening up Pandora's box. Like I never like the whole social media thing. And then I remember like for a while too, like when MySpace kind of died off, everybody was going to Facebook. I was like the last person to leave MySpace. To leave MySpace, I remember I was like, I'm gonna keep this alive single handedly. But yeah, man, these fighters, there's too many social media fighters. Stacey McKinley, I don't know if you see my interviews with him, but like he's a trainer. He's like bald headed dude. He's trained Mike Tyson.
yeah, I
Um,
think so.
yeah, he says that there's too many internet fighters. He calls them internet fighters.
They're so big online that they could probably get more views with like like if two online personalities had a match, it would draw bigger ratings than let's say perfect example than Gvozdyk and Beterbiev. Like how sad is that?
It's very sad. Well, like you kind of just brought up like that's like KSI versus Logan Paul coming up.
Yeah, I still don't even know who those guys are.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I know who they are. The only reason I know who they are is because like a couple of years ago I had a roommate and he watches those guys like Logan Paul and KSI and then this other guy named Casey Neistat. Like they're all like vloggers. They're all like vlogger guys. And they got like millions of subscribers. That's the
They're
only
not
reason.
they're not professional athletes.
No, they're not professional. They're not professional athletes at all. They're literally just like YouTube vlogger guys.
Oh.
Like they don't. They have no ties to boxing whatsoever. And like that fight, I was joking with my dad about that because that fight is gonna be so huge. I told my dad it might legit be the biggest fight in boxing history. Like I'm being dead serious when I say that. Like as far as the numbers it's gonna draw.
Yeah, I believe you.
Like, cause those guys are huge. Like, they're not huge to us because we don't give a shit about KSI and Logan Paul. But to like these 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds, this is Ali Frazier. This is freaking Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And what makes it even worse is it's actually legit now because Eddie Hearn's behind it. Like Lost One said in the comments, Billy Joe Saunders and Devin Haney are going to be on the undercard. Uh, uh, and this is actually going to be a professional boxing match. Like they actually have their professional boxer's license because the first one, apparently the first fight wasn't a professional fight. They fought with headgear,
Yeah.
so it's insane. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live for that one for sure because I'm gonna get crazy views.
Yeah, might as well cash in on it.
Might as well. And plus, there unlike the first fight, there's actually gonna be like legit fights on the undercard. So I have to
Yeah.
watch it.
You just gotta be quick, man. Like when the Khabib fight happened this past summer, uh, I quickly like I was like fighting like amongst myself, like should I not? I don't want to go into that world. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So I uploaded the post fight interview I found. Uh, some Russian guy probably posted because it was all written in Russian. I'm like, okay, good. This looks like a hidden gem. But I was like an hour late because I think ESPN had already uploaded the official post fight interview. See, had I stick to my guns and like done it like before Fox, I'm sorry, ESPN did it, I'll probably have stolen those like at least like 100K or something in views. So
Yeah.
it's 10, man. Like if you're on it, yeah, you could
Oh,
cash in on hot
yeah.
topics like that.
I'm definitely gonna be live for that fight. Like I'm not even sure who I want to win. I guess I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for Logan Paul because Shannon Briggs is training him. So, and I like Shannon Briggs.
The heavyweight?
Yeah, Shannon Briggs is training Logan Paul.
Oh, no way.
Because yeah. What's funny is so Shannon Briggs' amateur coach. Shannon Briggs' amateur coach used to train fighters at a gym right in this like the same city that I live in, or close to the same city I live in. And then eventually his amateur coach stopped training fighters in our area to go just work with Logan Paul. And I really have not seen him like almost 2 years. It's crazy.
All right.
SSB28 said Logan Paul taped a dead guy who hung himself in the suicide forest in Japan. I remember hearing about that. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, that was him.
That was him who did that. Yeah, yo, see, you know about that? Yeah.
I heard it. I heard about it on like a political guy I watch, Ryan Dawson. Like I remember him mentioning something about that. I just didn't know who the guy was, but damn. So
Yeah.
that's him, huh?
That's him. That's Logan Paul.
Wow. Last one just mentioned Povetkin versus Hunter. Yeah, I read that on Boxing Scene yesterday. I guess it's official, December 7th, Saudi Arabia undercard.
Is it finally official? Because I remember I did a video about it potentially happening, but it's official now.
Yeah, and Dwyer Boxing did a video on it last night too.
Shout out to Dwyer. Yeah, but Beterbiev versus Hunter, that's a good fight, man. I like that fight for where both of them are at in their careers. Like Beterbiev on the back end, Hunter's supposed to be on his way up. You know, we want to see how good he is.
Yeah, good test. I'm surprised Povetkin took that fight because I would assume, like for him, it's either title or title eliminator or nothing at that age. But I mean, good for him. He wants to fight, stay active, fight one of the young guys. Cool.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy if he just knocks Hunter the hell out.
There might go something like Mike Perez and Povetkin.
Yeah. I remember when Mike Perez fought he fought Brian Jennings, right? I remember he fought Brian Jennings, correct?
Jennings, I don't remember.
I remember he fought I know Jennings fought Spilka, but I feel like he fought Mike Perez too.
I'll check right now.
Go on SSB28 said go on Wikipedia and look at all legals from 2017 to present from both of these guys. They got a ton of controversy. Talking about KSI and Logan Paul, I don't give a damn about them, man. Honestly, I kind of can't wait for it to be over because I just don't like. I don't hate them, but I just don't care. Like I can't be bothered with KSI and Logan Paul.
Yeah, he lost to Jennings December 2014 split.
Okay, I was correct. Oh, I remember Tyson Fury was telling I saw a clip of Tyson Fury telling a story. I forgot where I saw it, but it was a clip somewhere, like ESPN or something. He was talking about how I guess one time he had went out partying or something, and then he went to the gym to spar the next day, and he saw some fat Cuban, and it was Mike Perez, and he just destroyed him in sparring.
Oh, yeah. That Perez and Breedis fight was unwatchable. That's when Yeah, that's when I started in the first round of the 2017 cruiserweight.
You know what's funny? I don't think I actually saw that fight. I didn't see that fight because I know I didn't make any videos about that fight. I remember it happening, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was like a clinch fest. I think they were both deducted a point for like excessive like holding. Like it was just I don't know. That's why I started like that's where my dislike for Breedis began, and then in the Usyk fight, he threw him down and so on, and then
about the Gvozdyk fight.
Yeah, that's what it led to. And even before that, I thought he got a gift decision against what was that guy's name in the first round? Armenian fighter, but not an Armenian last name.
Breedis, he fought I can't remember right now.
Guy out of Germany or
I have to look it up honestly. I can't remember right now.
Yeah, in that first round, I think it was in Chicago, and he lost that fight. He turned it on in late, but he was losing that fight. Ugly fight too, but still. And he got the bump to move to the next round, and then he does the elbow thing. So yeah,
Marco Huck.
Marco Huck?
Yeah.
No. The first round of the super series. This super series, the current
Oh,
one.
this one. Okay. He fought Noel.
Armenian fighter.
Well,
Yeah, no endeavor.
there you go.
Yeah, it was an ugly fight.
Yeah, I'm not really big on Breeders. I'm not like I can't really say I like Breeders that much. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though it was there was a lot of messed up things that happened in the Gvozdyk fight, I thought it was really entertaining. It was messed up. It was really entertaining. It was straight mayhem.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember your post fight video. I think you were standing outside like a balcony or something talking about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was just it was mayhem, absolute mayhem.
Yeah, freaking Bird.
Pardon?
Bird, the referee.
Oh, Adeline Bird. My
Yeah.
my dad calls her.
No,
Wait.
the husband, because he was
Oh,
referee.
Robert. Oh, Robert Bird.
Yeah. He went like deaf, like in that match.
He went deaf.
Because he remember he didn't hear the bell ring.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's why they kept swinging after the bell.
Yeah, for like a good like 15 seconds, and
They were
it was
going in.
just strangest I've seen.
It was really strange. What's like the boringest? What's the boringest fight you've ever seen?
Boringest fight I've ever seen.
It's bad. That you've ever watched?
Well, first thing that just came to mind, not so much that it was boring, but like what the hell is this? Was Klitschko Povetkin.
Oh
It's
my
pretty
god, that was
disgusting to
horrible.
watch.
That was an eyesore.
Yeah. But boring that Huey Fury Pulev last year or 2 years ago was really boring.
Huey Fury, yeah, that was a stinker. And Huey Fury versus Parker's up there too.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
The boringest fight I've ever seen though, I was so boring. I didn't even get to the fifth round. I had heard that it was one of the boringest fights of all time. And I tried to watch it. It was Chris Bird versus Devar Williamson. You ever seen that one?
I remember Chris Bird, but no, I don't think I've seen that fight.
Oh, it's horrible. You didn't miss much. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was more like fencing than it was boxing.
I heard the Bartholomew and what's his face? Forgot.
Easter?
Yeah, I heard that was terrible, but I didn't
God,
see
it
it.
was horrible. They were throwing like 7 punches around.
Wow.
Yeah, they had 15 punches combined around. It was bad. But like Bartholomew and Easter, that one wasn't surprising. Like I didn't even watch that fight, but I knew because I remember there was another fight on that night. I don't remember what was on that night, but it was another one. And I knew that it was not a good idea to watch that fight because both of those guys are always in constant ugly fights. Like,
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. All Boxing News just said good night and God bless. Good night, bro.
Absolutely, all boxing. God bless you, champ. Sleep well.
Yeah, go on.
You know, I already knew like that night, like I'm not watching that fight live because there was something else on that was like 10 times better. And those two are just no, like for me, when I think of Bartholomew and Easter, I just think of ugly fights.
Yeah.
Especially Easter, like Easter. I remember when Easter fought like Easter gets a lot of I don't know I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like Easter gets a lot of he got a lot of gift decisions.
Oh yeah, against Shafikov.
Yeah, Shafikov and Comey.
Yeah, he did. And the other one got away with low blows against Relic in their first fight. A lot of low blows.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope I really hope he loses his next fight though. I need Adrian Gonzalez from that fight.
Who's he fighting? Are they rematching or somebody else?
Robert Easter Jr. Robert Easter Jr. is moving up to 140, and his first fight there will be against Adrian Granados.
Oh, okay.
That's on the undercard. That's the co-main event. I think next week for Lubin versus Nathaniel Gallimore.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, what's funny is like it just got announced maybe like 3 weeks ago. So it's kind of like sneaking up.
Yeah.
Sneaking up on everybody. SSB at 28 says that Bartholomew Easter fight was one of the worst fights this year so far. In some rounds, there wasn't even 8 punches thrown combined.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen it, but I agree just knowing the two fighters involved.
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's not surprising at all, to say the least.
You know what was, again, it's not so much that it was boring. It was just nerve-wracking was the older fight. Costa Zoo in his last fight against Hatton, It's again similar to the Povetkin Klitschko fight. It's just the constant hugging and clinching from Hatton. It was just unbearable.
Yeah, I hate excessive holding. I hate fighters who have to clinch all the time. I hate it pisses me off like nothing else. That's why I never really liked Broner, and that's why I really didn't like Andre Ward. I can't stand Andre Ward.
Oh no, never.
Like I don't know how anybody can call themselves a boxing fan and be a massive fan of Andre Ward. Still trying to
Yeah,
I'm still trying to put that one together.
yeah. I was hoping, not that I wanted him to stick around, but if he was to stick around, like I was hoping I didn't see it happening, but man, like I would have loved to seen him fight Beterbiev, because if he's gonna hold and do all that quote unquote inside shit, like trying it with Beterbiev, man, I don't think he would have been able to pull any of that shit off with Beterbiev.
Well, he had no intention of staying at heavyweight when Bivol and Beterbiev and all these guys were there. He didn't try to go undisputed with Adonis
No,
after Kovalev.
no, but I thought he would still stick around like another year or two, just uh, just think out the division and just hold on to the belts. I thought if he's gonna fight anyone, he'll probably fight like a Badu Jack, give him like a shot, but like just drag it, Just I thought that's what he's gonna do. I was surprised when he retired. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
I was happy.
Yeah,
I was like, this is the best news I've heard all day.
yeah. So Kovalev did retire him technically,
That's right.
and thank goodness I repeated this so many times, but thank goodness Usyk was able to knock out Bellew, because I knew had that fight gone to the scorecards, they would have robbed Usyk, and that would have set up Ward and Bellew for
Oh
Usyk's
man,
belt. So
that would have been horrible. But yeah, Ward versus Bellew. I like Bellew though. I was rooting for Bellew to win that fight, but as an underdog. But I
against
know.
Usyk?
Yeah, I like Bellew. I met him. I interviewed him like 3 years ago. He was
Oh,
really
nice.
cool.
Where'd you meet him?
I met him in my home, like in my area, because like 3 years ago in 2016, the WBC convention was in my area. It was Hollywood, Florida. So
Oh,
I actually went to the WBC convention and he was there.
yeah,
The interviews on my channel, like I talked to him about like David Haye, and because this was right before he was about by David Haye for the first time.
yeah.
And he was talking about that and when he sparred David Haye and all that stuff. So he was mad cool.
That's cool. No, I mean, I don't have anything against his personality or anything, like, or even his fighting style. Like Bellew's at least somewhat entertaining. Ward's
Yeah.
just disgusting.
Yeah. And then people try to shove him down our throats. Remember, it was so horrible when he was fighting. Everybody's like, I don't understand how Ward is not a bigger superstar. Like number one, he was like he had legal problems for like 2 years. He's boring as hell. He's a bootleg Bernard Hopkins. And even that's like kind of insulting to Bernard Hopkins. And yeah, man, like I don't know. I don't like Ward. I think he's a great commentator though. I like him as a commentator.
Yeah,
I don't know what your feelings are about him as a commentator, but
as a commentator, I mean, he's decent. I
yeah.
mean, it's not. Like, I might not agree with what he says, but he's good for the job. He articulates well. He's a smart guy.
Oh yeah, no, he's not. He's not no dummy.
Unlikable guy.
Yeah, but every now and then, like you'll hear him say some dirty stuff. Like he'll be like, "Oh, I was watching one fight. I think it was like Kovalev. It might have been Kovalev versus Yard, or it might have been on the undercard of Kovalev Yard. There was some fight going on, and the guys were on the inside, and I guess the one fighter hit the fighter kind of low, and Ward was like, "If you hit him low and you see that he's not protecting, go back down there." That's what I would do.
Yeah. I think Precise made a video about like on that little segment, those 20 seconds.
Is he making boxing videos again?
Yeah, he's using Fight Film as his channel. Fight Film.
5 pills. What's it called now?
Fight Film.
Oh, Fight Film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry again. Like I'm sick. I don't sound like
I'm gonna have to go check that out because I remember. I like Precise. Precise is like someone I enjoy watching, and he started doing vegan videos or like. Come on.
Yeah, I know he disappeared for a while, or he used to go by Precise Puncher and then Precise Presenter or something.
Well, I knew him when he was I knew him when he was Precise Presenter. And apparently, before he was precise presenter, before that he was Bowles.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like he disappears. He disappears like all the time. I
He
mean,
resides in South America, right?
yeah, he's somewhere down there in South America, like in the forest. I don't know how he gets internet out there, but hey, he makes it work. So shout out to him.
Yeah. I think he's originally from Chicago, right?
Chicago or like California or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've always watched you guys. I just never like believe it or not. I know it's like hard. But when I told BDA the first time I called BDA, like, you're familiar with BDA, right? BDA
yeah,
boxing.
I know BDA. Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I called them like 2 months ago, and like they asked me like, "Who are you in the chat?" And I said, "I'm not, but I've watched you guys since the Gassi of Dordos fight." And they were like shocked. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" Like I'm like, "Yeah, like I know all you guys. I just never had YouTube or any social media or whatever. Just like if I'm doing work in the back or whatever, like I'll just put on the headphones and listen to all you guys, but never got involved, commentating and stuff. It wasn't until late August I finally made a channel and finally uploaded my first fight on September 1st. But like I'm like I know all you guys, and I used to watch Eagle back in the day when I didn't know what's up, like back in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah, we both been
One
there.
guy I liked a lot was Strictly Boxing News. I don't know if you remember him, but
Ah, that was my guy, my man. That was Faraz. Yeah, I remember. I know
yeah,
strictly boxing.
yeah, Christian brother. Uh, he I think his very last video was a post fight of Ward Kovalev 2, and then he just quit. Like,
Yeah,
I
he
know
was quick.
like that infected him.
He used to email me all the time. I remember he used to email me and like we were cool. You know what's funny? Like back in those days, I remember back in those days when he was making videos, he used to say that he liked my channel because back in those days, in my videos, I didn't really curse at all. Now it's like I'm a sailor these days. So I'm trying to get back to how I used to be.
Yeah,
Wait, so
yeah, I like
how long have you been watching me then? That's the question I'd like to know.
uh, I think I came across you or like discovered your channel through seeing clips of you in Arturio's boxing.
Okay.
Like, makes compilations.
Yeah, I've seen those videos before. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
I like Artur.
yeah, I think that's how I came across you. Maybe some post fight videos or whatnot, but I think that stamped it like because if you put you in the video, because I always like his work. I regard True Sports sounds legit, So I started watching your stuff. Probably like maybe either early 2018 or late 2017.
Okay. See, you've been here for a minute then. I just like you said, you were just in the background.
Yeah, basically.
It's good to
I'm
hear
trying not
because
to get
like,
involved,
huh?
like I'm trying not to get involved on YouTube because like I know I can't like at least back then I wasn't able to like control myself. I'll just say like really burn stuff. So
Yeah,
man, it's just better if I don't have an account and get involved, because I know myself, but like now I'm like more like I guess under control with that stuff.
yeah. Nah, that's good to hear though, because like what's funny is like sometimes like I mean it's funny to say because like if you go on my channel and you look at the stats, like I have like almost 16 million views and I have like a couple like thousand subscribers. I think I'm at like 23. I'm at 23,000 subscribers. So like the funny thing is like in my mind sometimes I'm like, well, nobody's really watching me, so it's all good. But then like there are people that are watching me, so it's pretty good to hear.
Yeah, yeah, you'll never know. Feminine angry dwarf says good morning, fellas, and good morning to you too.
Good morning to you, feminine angry dwarf. What's up, champ? How you living? HB says Riddick Bowe, in my opinion, is the best tall and slim inside fighter. Second would be Diego. 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 Oh, De La Hoya. Not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure Diego is.
Yeah, I'm confused. Just elaborate on it.
Yeah, just please elaborate. But feminine angry dwarf, how you feeling about these fights this weekend? And the fights coming up. I know the fight I'm looking forward to is Taylor versus Prograis. Like I'm so hyped for that fight, you don't even know.
Yeah, you think that's the best of the three finals, the three
The
Super
the
Series
best,
final matches?
yes, for sure, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm excited for Inoue versus Donaire, but I don't know, man. I just feel like Inoue's in a. I
Smashing.
don't. Yeah, I don't want to say that because I like Donaire, but and you never know what could happen because at 118 he's such a punches so damn hard at 118, but it's hard for me to see Inoue losing right now. Like he's at that level right now where it's like it's really hard to see him losing because he's been so sensational, blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
Wait, so you said you're in? Oh, he meant Corrales, Diego Corrales. I feel stupid now. I should have known Diego Corrales. HB said Diego Corrales. I can't wait for this. I'm calling Taylor. Pro grades a 50-50. Taylor better fighter, but he let his game slip and pro grades is good. But he lets his game slip and pro grades is good too. It's a 50-50. I'm going with Josh Taylor. I think Taylor's better fighter, to be honest with
Hey, I'm gonna up on my glass here. So just give me like 1 second.
you. All right. You're breaking. I don't know why, but for some strange reason, you're breaking up here and there.
Again, maybe it's because I'm in the garage.
That might be it. I don't know.
Am I still breaking up?
No, you're good now.
All right, so just give me like one, and I'm gonna one more glass of this tea.
All right. But yeah, it's like, man, it's 3:15 a.m. and we're still alive here on True School Sports, which means it would have to be what 8:15 a.m. in the UK, and that would mean it's what 2:15 a.m. in like Central Time, and it's like 12:15 Pacific. So look, we're here. We are here. StreamYard, making history. It's the first ever True School Sports StreamYard hangout. We got muscle memory here. You know, muscle memory has been, everywhere. Every time I go to a live YouTube anything, he's there. I saw him on the Thunderdome Boxing Talk lives. Yeah, man, I'm slowly getting tired, guys. There's only so much Yoo-Hoo and Dr. Pepper and brother can drink before he has to go to sleep. But while we're still on, there's 8 of you here. Do me a favor in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching this True School Sports StreamYard live stream from. Let me know where you're at. Let's take a roll call. Right now I'm in the great city of not Dania, not Hollywood, but we're in Deerfield Beach. Shout out to Deerfield Beach, home of the great Ace Hood, the rapper. That's the thing. That's the most notable thing that ever came out of Deerfield Beach was Ace Hood. Any of y'all know who that is? But yeah, get back to HB's comment. Yes, I think I've never seen a fighter that's that tall in any weight class fight that good and fight that at that level on the inside like Riddick Bowe. So yes, we're gonna agree with you. And honestly, when you mentioned Riddick Bowe, I'm always gonna say some positive shit. I love Riddick Bowe. That's my guy, and he's a great heavyweight. We got Preston, Lancashire, England. 8:15 a.m. and I'm not at work today, which is why I'm here. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're here. It's great to have you on. We got SSB28 reporting to you live and direct. He's coming to you from Toronto, Canada, home of Drake, home of the Toronto Raptors and Maple Leafs, home of what's that tennis player's name? That girl, that fine girl that just won the U.S. Open, Bianca Anderson, or I don't know how to say her last name, but you know what I'm talking about. That fine girl from Canada that won the U.S. Open and beat Serena Williams. Shout out to Toronto. Man, let's go with some boxing news though, because there is some news we didn't cover. Nikolai Potapov. Many of you guys may know Nikolai Potapov. He's returning to action on October 30th. I thought he got robbed blind against Joshua Greer. I thought he beat Joshua Greer, and they robbed him. But he'll be back in action October 30th, TBA, for the opponent. Let's see who else we got. Joe Joyce versus Marco Huck in play after purse bid win. So look, Joe Joyce might be getting having himself a decent little fight with Marco Huck, a heavyweight. Not really sure what that. I'm not really sure if that's going to be a step up for him because Marco Huck's already on the back nine of his career, and on top of that, Marco Huck was never really a great heavyweight. What else we got? Most memories back.
Yeah. Am I still cutting up?
Talk again.
Like, am I still cutting up? Am I good? Can you hear me?
It's on and off, but I can still make out what you're saying.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have this tea here, and I'll move back in because unfortunately I'm having a cigarette with the tea, so I don't smoke indoors. So.
Hey, okay. Do as you must.
Cool.
SSB28 says she is a Romanian chick. That explains a lot. She's a very nice woman. Beterbiev should win. Let's see. Angry Dwarf says Beterbiev should win, but keeps getting dropped. But to drop him, you need to be aggressive, and it's done to be aggressive against Beterbiev. Great fight, this one. Yeah, man. I could see a scenario where I was just talking to Muscle Memory here earlier. I was asking him how he thinks the fight's gonna play out, and he told me that he sees the fight, both fighters getting dropped at least once. So no, it's not out the realm of possibility. Beterbiev is a freaking lethal puncher, and it's very important for Gvozdyk's boxing career and health to be very cautious with how he approaches Beterbiev. But I think Gvozdyk is gonna win. I think he's gonna stop him in the later rounds. I just believe that his footwork, his boxing IQ, he's gonna be able to dissect Beterbiev more and more as the rounds go on. And I just think with his power and the way he plays his shots, it's a lot for many fighters to handle. And I just see him breaking him down. I think he's gonna break him down and get him out of there. But I could see it going 12.
What do you think about, because nobody mentions this, what do you think of like the ring doctor stop? Because I don't see any of the guys like staying down if they go down. I think they like both very
like on cuts, like if ring doctors like stop it on cuts, something like that.
Cuts, shut eyes, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that because these two guys, like both of them, particularly Gvozdyk, like they're precise punchers. Like so, they're gonna if they cause some issues with the as far as scars and swelling, they're gonna close shit up real quick.
Yeah. Also, if you remember when Kovalev fought Alvarez the first time, he went down 3 times, but he got up all 3 times.
That's true.
The ref stopped it, but his determination, he still got up 3 times, and these guys are younger too. So
yeah, you're right. Alvarez never truly broke Kovalev's will in that fight. I mean, he beat him, but Kovalev was still game. He was still there.
Yeah, he barely got any like respect for that, to get back on your feet.
To be honest, until you just brought it up, I just forgotten about it. I just forgotten about it because I just remember him losing, him getting stopped. I was so pissed when he lost to Alvarez.
Yeah, Bivol was pissed too. Him and his team.
Yeah,
they did this little documentary on Bivol, the Chilemba fight on HBO. They showed the footage, like the locker room. They were all cheering for Kovalev, like in Russian, saying like "Stand up, Kov," get up. Like they're shocked, like what's going on.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I still want to see Kovalev. I mean, I don't know, man. I think Kovalev, depending on how it looks against Canelo, like if he stops Canelo, just go out on a high. I hope he just goes out on a high, man. I hope he doesn't like prolong his career when he doesn't have to. You got your money. Oh, but you know what? That chick is suing him. That girl on the plane, she's suing him.
I know. In late November,
$8 million. Like $8 million. So.
That's why I think this fight is suspicious, like to me, because think about it. Kovalev is already not liked in the States. Why would they risk putting their cash cap in with a dangerous Kovalev, with the possibility of Kovalev winning and becoming even more like, popular and liked? Why would
That's
they do
true.
that for his character? I mean, again, like they already don't like him. I give him that opportunity. So I think maybe uh, his team talked to Canelo and said, you know what, I'll be that stepping stone or whatever. Like, put me on record. Like he needs that flow because I think there's things that we don't know about the case. Maybe he really does need the money to take care of that.
Yeah. That hopefully, like, I'm praying. I'm praying to God that I hope that Kovalev doesn't take a dive. I don't think he would, but you just never know in boxing.
Well, that was my point. I think there's a possibility that he is, and just because he needs the money and there's an agreement, and the couple said, "All right, I'll bail you out," but you know, like you, and in return, he wants his name on his record. So, because again, we just don't know or not, we don't know what's going on. Like we don't know anything about this case in general. So,
Yeah, we don't. We'll see though. We'll see how it all plays out. SSB28 says, "Hey, did you hear that Clarissa Shields' brother got charged for hitting James Ali Bashir?" Yes, I heard about it and I've seen pictures of it. I still haven't. What's funny is I still haven't even went ahead and watched the video yet, but I've heard a lot about it. That was wild, right? You heard about that, right? The whole her
just
brother,
the incident
huh?
with the brother, the incident.
Yeah, yeah,
Shoot, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to say something like crude, like it's expected.
yeah.
Uh,
Like a feminine Amy Dore, like uh, they said that Shields is a great fighter, but her family looks and acts like hood rats, just like Wilder and his brother.
yeah,
You know what?
no class.
I met well I've interviewed Clarissa Shields twice. I interviewed her twice. I interviewed her. I saw her spar in 2017, and then I interviewed her after she got done sparring at the Fifth Street Gym, in Miami, and then I interviewed her at the WBC convention, and she was extremely nice to me. She's like a nice person to me. I mean, for some strange reason, like when I talk to people in boxing who met her, a lot of people hate her, but I have great experiences with her.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about like her boxing career or anything. So,
Oh, you don't? Like,
uh,
you don't follow women's boxing, right?
yeah, no female combat sports.
Yeah.
Only one thing was a hot top. What was the name from UFC? Ronda.
Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, that's only because I knew her trainer. I actually trained with him. I did kickboxing when I was like very early in high school. He was like my coach for like
That's pretty cool.
half a year, Edmund.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I just follow boxing. Like anything outside of boxing, I'm not gonna know.
He was training. He was in Link's corner in the Golovkin fight. What was his name? The Armenian fighter. He fought last May.
Say it again.
Uh, the Edmund coach, the coach, Ron Rauch, he was in Link's corner. My mind just went blank. The Armenian fighter that Golovkin like walked through in 2 rounds last May.
Von is Moderation.
Yeah, that it's the same coach.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
They kind of look alike too. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah. SSB28 says Bruce Bain posted a video just the other day where Shields was going back and forth with some parents at an amateur tournament, and she and some lady got into an argument. I didn't see that video, but shout out to Bruce Bain. I haven't I've heard a lot of stories about her in the amateurs. I'm not gonna get into them here, but um, all the best to her, man. All the best to the Clarissa Shields. I got nothing bad to say about her. Women's boxing needs her, so hopefully for women's boxing sake. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to kind of like women's boxing, but as I've gotten older, I don't know. I just don't like it no more. Too much. I like men being men, and I like women being women, and I like dogs being dogs, and cats being cats.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I hear you.
I get back inside, so hopefully I'm not being choppy.
Hopefully not. Hopefully, yeah. I can't watch women's boxing no more. I can't watch too much. I
Yeah,
can't watch.
no.
I
You
watched
heard Foreman's daughter died. I think.
George Foreman.
Yeah, she
Okay.
did the special guest appearance on King of the Hill back in the day.
I didn't know that. I never really
Frida
watched King
Foreman.
of the Hill.
Yeah, Frida
Huh?
Foreman. That's how I knew her. Frida Foreman. I knew her because of that episode, and she died like a few months ago or something.
Well, R.I.P. Everybody's dying these days, man. Everybody's dying.
Yeah, it's sad truth.
Like Patrick Day, R.I.P. Patrick Day.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even see that fight.
I didn't see it either, but I had a chance to I knew it was I remember like I had looked at the card that week and I kind of highlighted it in my head because I knew who Patrick Day was and I knew Charles Kama was, so I was like, okay, that's a fight worth seeing because these two are both these guys are good young fighters. But then when I heard how badly Patrick Day got knocked out and he was in a coma, I was like, damn, I'm not gonna go watch this. I'm gonna feel bad watching this if I go watch this right now.
Yeah, I contemplated like after I heard that he's in a coma. I thought like, should I upload that fight? But I'm like, man, that's
That,
wrong. You know?
yeah, you'll be looked at as a dick if you do that.
Yeah,
This guy.
because I
That's
knew
just,
like we'd probably get the views, but I'm like, no, that's I know that's just wrong.
yeah.
Morally, it's just wrong.
SSB 28 says women's boxing doesn't look natural. It doesn't. But I don't know. I kind of have like in the beginning for a while. I had a bit of a soft spot for women's boxing because where the city that I grew up in, which is Dania Beach, Florida, we only have one boxing gym, and that boxing gym was ran by Bonnie Canino, who was a professional women's fighter. So I never hated a women's boxing because I was around women in the boxing gym all the time. It wasn't weird to me. But then, like as I've gotten older, I'm just like I can't do it. I can't do it. The only women's fighter that I can watch are the ones that I think are attractive. As fucked up as that sounds, like
Might as well just watch MMA. There's more to
that's
see.
true. That's true. The cream of women's boxing is great, but the overall standard is still low, and it must be my age. But watching women take a beating still doesn't sit well with me. Well, hey man, it's their fight for equality, I guess, right?
You know what it is? My personal opinion on female combat sports. I think like say like name another country, right? Like name I don't know, like let's say Poland,
Russia. Okay.
Russia, Poland. Like I could understand if they don't want their women doing that, putting themselves in that type of harm, because they're mostly like Russia's somewhat multicultural, but like let's say somewhere like more like let's say like I don't know Cuba, Croatia, or whatever. Like they don't want to see that, you know. Like if
Yeah,
they honor their women, like the mothers and sisters, they don't want to see like their sisters fight each other.
yeah, they're
Since
very
the yeah
traditional. They're traditional.
yeah, and since like somewhere like the United States or Canada or whatever, it's like there's no one specific like ethnicity. I think that's why like like if people just don't mind.
Yeah. Do you remember a couple of years ago? I'm gonna say it was like 2016. Do you remember when Sergey Kovalev met Clarissa Shields?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was wild.
You know, back to Andre Ward real quick, since we're talking about 2016.
Okay.
When they first met in the ring, like I was never a Ward fan, but I didn't hate him,
Me
And
neither.
when they first met in the ring, I thought I really liked that encounter, how it went. I remember Kovalev was wearing like a white sleeve, like long sleeve, like shirt or whatever, with
Hmm.
like a hat on. I think he had like little crosses on his shirt, and they
Yeah.
shook hands. I think it was like uh, in the post fight of the not the Barrera, the other guy he fought to prepare for Kovalev or Ward. And
Mm-hmm.
Kellerman was in the ring, and they shook hands, and like there was no trash talking to the buildup of that fight.
No, there wasn't. It was a very tame build-up. I remember.
Yeah, so like I didn't like hate on Ward or anything. I'm like I remember thinking that's cool. You know, they're both being respectful and all that. And then it was immediately like Ward's post-fight antics and reaction, and like just no humility. Like he wasn't humble at all. Nothing. Like that's what made me hate him after the first Kovalev fight.
Yeah.
Like okay, I can't stand this guy now.
Yeah, and then I remember too, like I don't know if you remember this, but like I'm gonna say it was around like November. No, because that fight was in November. It was November 19th, 2016.
Yeah,
So it was around it was next month. It was around Christmas time. I remember he was talking about like delaying the rematch and not even giving them a rematch. Like,
yeah, it's gotta make sense.
but yeah, yeah. I remember doing a video about that. I think the title of the video was Andre Ward is a disgrace to boxing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going off in that video. I was going off.
yeah,
And yeah,
it was his delusion that he won. Like I said, like at least because when Bradley was gifted the decision against Pacquiao the first time, he acted nothing like Ward. That's why I
yeah.
always
So
liked Bradley.
people didn't hate Bradley.
Yeah,
But yeah, I remember like around that time, I'm like, man, that's when my like my disdain for Andre Ward began. And then when you start like, and then like when you actually after that, when I started doing more research like on the earlier stages of his career, like when he like I mean, I already knew he never left America for the World Boxing Super Series. I knew that, but like when you find
California.
he ducked Lucien Bute. He never fought Lucien. I mean Bute. I think he would have beat Bute, but he still ducked him.
Yeah, that same exact story. Like I right after that first Ward fight, I went back and I started digging too, and I watched his earlier fights because the only fights that I watched in full, I think it was him against Abraham. Because again, he just wasn't uh, enjoyable to watch. But yeah, after that, I went back. I revisited the fight where he almost blinded. What was that?
Kessler.
Yeah, the Danish fighter.
Yeah, Mikhail Kessler.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, it all makes sense now.
Feminine Engadorf says, I've never been a fan of Ward. I don't mind dirty fighting. It's the inside, or it's fighting. It's out of the ring, smugness and attitude. But as a ringside analyst commentator, I think Ward is one of the best to listen to. Yeah, I like Ward as a commentator, but the best part about him as a commentator is when he talks about being a dirty fighter, and he doesn't even know he's doing it.
Yeah, I feel the same way with Max Kellerman. I know he gets a lot of hate, but it's like you guys, like he does a good job, like in what he does. Like he articulates well, like
Yeah,
he's clean cut, like he does a good job. It's just you guys have to understand he's agenda driven. That's it. That
that's it.
doesn't mean he doesn't do a good job.
Yeah, Max Kellerman, man. Boy, whenever he talks about Andre Ward, his pom poms come out immediately.
Yeah, like I said, it's just he's agenda driven, but
Yeah,
he's good. Like he does good post fight interviews and everything. It's just you have to look at with that like with that frame, with the
that lens.
yeah, with the They Live glasses, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you're familiar with that, but
Say that again. The what glasses?
the They Live glasses.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
You haven't seen They Live?
I don't know what that is. I have
It's
no
a
clue what you're talking about.
it's a '80s like cheesy action film,
Okay, I never seen it.
and it's about like the actors escape my mind. Collins Piper or anyways, it's like they discover these glasses that when you put on these glasses, you see that your society's infiltrated by these alien looking creatures.
Somebody
Yeah,
wrote while they were high on shrooms.
yeah, it's good though.
I have to check it out.
They're trying to say something, but they obviously can't.
Yeah. So SSB28 says that Lennox Lewis is not a good commentator.
Oh no, he's terrible.
He's yeah, he's really bad. Plus, he said he wanted to slap Riddick Bowe, and Riddick Bowe said that he wishes he would. They legit don't like each other still. It's crazy.
It's It was because of Bo, right? Lennox tossed the title.
Oh no, Bo tossed the title into the
Yeah. The
into the
other way
trash
around.
can.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think like I've done back and I've like done research for myself, and like it's both of them actually have a reason to do with why the fight never happened. It's not just Riddick Bo. Everybody sees him throwing the belt on the trash and they think it's Bo. It was Bo, but it wasn't just Bo. Cause they made Lennox like two offers to fight. Lennox turned both of them down. I mean, to be fair though, they were extremely lopsided offers. Like one of them was like a 90-10 split in favor of Bo, and the other one was like 80-20 in favor of Bo. But after they made Lewis the second offer and they turned it down, Bo was just going to move on. And then his manager Frank Maloney came back and said, "Oh well, no, the first offer was good enough. Let's fight."
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I made a video about it earlier this year.
Yeah, I know. You've done these long videos with Evander and Bo. I need
Yeah,
to
I love those guys. I'm
check them
like,
out. Yeah, that's real cool, man. How you met them and everything.
yeah, because like it's crazy. Like so, when I first started like covering boxing on my channel, um, they had just moved to my area. They moved to my area, and they just happened to be working at the gym that's the closest to where I was living at the time. So it just worked out that way. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
insane.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, and like I'm cool with Evander, but like I'm a lot cooler with Bo than I'm Evander. Because like
Yeah.
Evander like never, you never know when you never know if Evander's here or like China. He could be anywhere.
Oh, he reminds me a lot of Carl Malone. I don't know if you remember Carl Malone.
Yeah, the mailman.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot. Like just personality, like just I don't know, just reminded he's the Carl Malone of boxing.
Yeah, he's a very country southern guy.
Yeah, Doctor Elbows.
Oh, you know what? I just realized this. I just made a video about this like right before I came on here. I haven't posted it yet, but I don't know if you know this, but one of Evander Holyfield's sons, he's turning pro. Making his
He's with
debut on.
Kathy Duva.
Huh?
He's with Kathy Duva.
Yeah, Kali Duva. He's making his pro debut on the Kovalev Canelo undercard.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I actually I met the one who's fighting. I met him. I interviewed him on my channel 3 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Like 3 years ago, he came down here to train. Like there's footage of him training somewhere on my channel. If you go look up like if you look up his name, it's Eliezer Evan Holyfield. You'll find it.
All right. He's a what division is he in?
His pro debut will be at 154.
150. Okay.
Yeah, he's not as big as his father.
Yeah.
Not as big, but he looks just like him. He moves like him. It's like watching Holyfield almost.
Probably move up. Maybe end up at super middleweight or something.
Probably, yeah. But he could fight though. He won the Georgia Golden Gloves this year. I don't know how he did in the national Golden Gloves, but I know he won the Georgia. I know he won the Georgia Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's almost 4 a.m. where I'm at, so I might need to wrap it up. But it was great having you on. Any final message to the boxing world? Anything you want to say?
Sure. We finally fixed the URL on the channel because I think it's like after you reach like a certain amount or something, like 1,000,000 minutes watched or whatever, they allow you to put your own like URL.
URL, yeah.
So if you want to find the channel, it's youtube.com/Marshall Ministry.
Okay.
And yeah, I try to upload fights. I mean, whatever goes through. I've had like dozens of fights blocked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you upload fights without getting copyright strikes? Because I remember I got a copyright strike just for doing a live fight reaction a couple years ago.
It just depends on the fight.
Yeah.
Like the Benavides fight,
Mhm.
the last one, because that's what's carrying my channel right now. Because that's like almost at 200K views. It's in Russian, so I think that's why
Okay.
they allow it.
Yeah,
Because I
because
uploaded.
you're not getting away with that with American commentary. No way.
No, and I found out because, uh, damn, what was his name on the undercard? Damn, my mind just went blank. Anyways, the another fight from the undercard. I uploaded like the actual like English commentary and everything. It got blocked in like a few hours. So it depends, you know. Like for some reason, ESPN it has been lenient with their fights, but not the zone's been blocking everything. Fox, PBC blocks everything. So again, like I toss it out there. You know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, but yeah, like if there's any big fights, like I'm gonna try again. If it's available, like I'll try with the Gvozdyk, Beterbiev. So just keep an eye out on the channel. Like you know, if you guys can subscribe, and you'll get notifications. And then there's all tons of like goodies too. You know, like I don't know, clips, songs, predictions, etc., etc. Like we're gonna expand. So far it's just mostly fights, just to you know get the views and the subs and everything, and then we'll expand.
I just dropped a link to your channel in the comments, so if people want to go check you out, they can go check you out there.
Awesome, thank you, I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. But yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep. It was great talking to you. It was great talking to everybody. We'll definitely be doing more of these. And yeah, take care, man.
For sure, man. Well, good night. Get good rest, and till next time.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, take care.